so I understand.
She, no, nobody can be on her street. Her street.
Of
Even
course.
though if we open the door, she would be like, "Oh no, it's outside. Oh no." So, no, I lie. Okay, she'll go outside. It's just she'll only go to the end of the street.
Okay.
That's it.
But that's far. Okay.
She's yes, but it's just no one can deliver anything. No one can do anything. No one can do anything. No one can walk by. Got, freaking nosy bear over here. Anyways.
Nah, you're good. We are back with more OmOneko. And, yeah, we took a small break from recording this for a couple weeks, and finally we're back to it, almost in real time again, funny enough. So I do have a small update, a cat-related update, in fact, where I adopted a kitten. A new furry family member joined us recently at House Snek. She is a little gray tuxie, and her name is Dolly Purton. And she is both...
You're going to have to actually...
take a photo of her, and I have some photos of her already. Like, half my phone is dedicated to my niece, and the other half is dedicated to my cats.
Yes, he is obsessed with me, as he should be, yes.
Rightfully so. Yes, her name is Dolly, and she is a handful. This is the first time I've had a kitten, well, for me personally, ever. And I've been Snek's home for wayward cats for quite a while, adopting everyone else's cats. But now I finally adopted my own, and she has already adapted quite well. She's been here about a week, and she's already pretty much decided she owns the place. And Dash is kind of being a stubborn old man, but he clearly loves her. He's already playing with her and romping around, and they're getting on great, which I'm very happy to see.
I'm glad that Sir Dash has decided to be the dad-be-sitter.
Yeah,
I figured
he has.
He wouldn't be.
No.
I figured it wouldn't be a problem.
Neither cat has a mean bone in their body. They're just kind of stupid sometimes. Every now and then, Dolly gets really distracted by my computer cords and tries to chew on them, and I have to put her out in the living room, and it's like, why don't you two play out here for a little while? Which is what I had to do before we started recording this episode, because she was really going at it today. I'm hoping I can break her of that habit and get some kind of I know they have cat deterrent sprays and stuff, which I'll have to put to good use. But generally, she is a welcome and very pleasant addition to the family, and I'm very happy she's here with us.
Tell you something funny.
Do tell.
The clan de Pugum has actually had a number of, even though we have dogs now, we've had cats a good while.
Right.
And we actually had one cat that was, she actually, we had some furniture that Mama Pugum didn't want to have torn up. And so we put the deterrent spray on it. It was like pepper spray.
Right.
And they liked it. So.
Oof.
Yeah.
A little bit of a backfire there.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, that cat was very strange. So I don't think this is going to be a problem. It's just, just be warned, that is a thing that can happen.
Yeah, that's good to know. Once at home, Claudia immediately vies for my attention. She's already pulled out Goro's medical bag and put it next to the sedated Shimi. I pretend that I didn't forget my promise about changing Shimi's bandages with her. She's been waiting all day. Hey, later now. What? Feed Pepper later. Later now. Now need feed Pepper. Like a switch being flipped, Pepper returns to her typical demanding and obnoxious self. It takes me a minute to figure out what she's saying. Oh, and we were at Veronica's. I promised her that I'd feed her later, and now it's later. Of course she remembers that. All the things I need to do right now rush at me like an oncoming avalanche. Sawbones will be here at any time. I need a shower. I'm gonna have to research how to plaster and spackle so I can try and fix Veronica's wall. More immediately, I need to feed in everyone and change Shimi's bandages. Maybe someday I won't be pushed into conflicting duties by events outside my control, but I'm not holding my breath. Pepper forced me into lying to Veronica, and she did work very hard after our talk and bought us some time to finish repairs. Meanwhile, Claudia and Shimi have been waiting while I took care of Pepper's mess next door. Oh, jeez. Save, as is my custom. Okay. I'm thinking, in my estimation, Shimi's situation is the more immediately pressing one, given that she's sick. So that's kind of where my mind goes. What say you, Ditaku?
Honestly, I would say if we're being, as Pepper as possible, I would probably say, feed Pepper first.
That does make sense. And we are on Pepper's path. So we will quickly feed the Pepper, and then we can focus on Shimi's condition. Being stretched in too many directions at once is fatiguing, and I'm nowhere near the point where I'll get a break from it. I know you've been waiting, Claudia. Just let me start dinner, then we'll change Shimi's bandages. Claudia returns to the sunroom, and I hastily pull out the ingredients for dinner. Pepper watches Claudia go, and with near belligerence demands, "Pepper want noodles, let's go!" God, she is so infuriatingly arrogant, which, again, confuses me. Just moments ago on the walk back, she seemed introspective, almost shy. Well, she's a cat, bro. No time to dwell on it. The specter of time haunting every moment has me unnerved. Rushing around the kitchen, pulling out ingredients, I deter and grab the noodles. I need to clone myself. With two of me, I might be able to accomplish half of the stuff I need to do.
The idea of the fact that it's not that she's asking for noodles, it's...
Yeah, given that's her nickname for noodles.
It's like, she's not asking for the food, she's asking for...
Yeah.
You, bro. She wants your attention.
Yeah. And, if we could clone ourselves, we could make 4 copies of ourselves and then play Nightmare on Elm Street on the NES. That's what a true pro gamer would do. Pepper doesn't find my joke
really
amusing.
That's where you go with that.
Yeah, an AVGN reference.
Not the true gaming experience of see my first thought was we could do we could do like Mario Kart on the N64, the best one.
Then the clones can all complain about the terrible design of the controller.
All right, Professor.
Okay.
Gun to your head time.
Uh-oh. All right.
What's your favorite Mario Kart?
Probably 8. Like, it felt like the most complete package. Like, it has the most stuff. Like, you could customize your cart. I liked that a lot. Then, like, there was, like, boatload of DLC, basically doubling the size of the game, so that was really cool. Yeah, I would say 8.
Yes. My issue is a lot of the new tracks are basically, like, they exist to infuriate you, especially with a lot of new weapons.
Yeah.
It's basically, that's my issue.
Nah, I get that. I do.
I mean, honestly, I this frustrates me because I despised, the peanut butter gamer style, N64 was the best thing. But I gotta say, actually, there were a few tracks on the N64 Mario Kart that never ever came back over. There was one that was literally a figure 8, and then it was a figure 8. There was 2 figure 8s on top of each other, and you could actually switch between. And those are really good, especially for battle mode. And when you have, a crap load of little brothers and sisters, where, all basically were doing the, okay, if you get knocked out in one round, then you gotta give up your controller and you gotta go back.
Yeah,
Um,
you figure out elimination
I,
tournament structure really fast in those conditions.
yeah, so I mean, it's not the best one, I would argue, but at the same time, it's the one I like the most because of that and the fact that they
Hmm.
are like, well, it's a darn shame. You gotta have one that's based off of Super Mario Sunshine. I'm like, I don't want that. I just want the figure eight double sandwich.
Now, I'll tell you one.
So,
This is a little bit of a deep cut to my high school, college years. Cog and I played the crap out of Mario Kart Wii. Because that was back in the day when consoles were not making you pay additional money for internet connections in addition to your ISP in order to play online. And Mario Kart Wii was like one of the few Wii games that actually had like online infrastructure that was like worth something. So like we would just play that like constantly. That was one of our go-to games, and you could bring two-player locally into the eight-player online race mode. It was actually shockingly intuitive.
I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii too.
Yeah,
Or Wii also. Uh,
I knew what
that
you
was,
meant.
I mean, basically because that's when Baby Pugum,
Right.
she basically became cognizant of games. We played a lot of like Brawl, for instance. Um, and this is the reason why, I say what I do about Super Smash Brothers and why I will forever sneer and, just kind of look down on the FGC for their feelings on Smash. Just because it's like, you guys are playing it wrong. And I say that in the most haughty, dismissive way possible because I mean, if the game has items, if the game has stage hazards, why aren't you playing with them?
Yeah,
Oh, but
test
the
a
skill.
skill.
You know what?
I
I
can't
don't
even
care.
like.
I'm gonna let my little 4-year-old sister destroy me with a golden hammer, and she's going to howl uproariously at her victory and the fact that my Samus just flew off the screen like a rocket. He did the little Team Rocket shine little star thing.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine because we're having fun,
that's the
and
point.
it's not
See, like that.
yes.
That's a. That's a. I do not have the ability to sneer via dialogue quite as hard as Proto Man's Ruby Spears voice actor. But if I could, that would be about the correct level of derision that I hold for people that talk about contest of skill in a party fighter.
Yes. Yes.
Pepper doesn't find my joke to be amusing. Her mood has changed again. She looks as though I forgot her birthday, sad and a little angry. I've never seen anyone switch emotions this fast, and I have no idea what's triggering her, unless. Is this another act? Is she messing with me right now? Or is this how nutty this Neko really is? Jumping this quickly through emotions could be a psychological. There's no time for this. Focus! Don't expect anything fancy for dinner. This has to be quick. I have a lot to do before Sawbones gets here, and Pepper not want noodles. Looking at Pepper, her expression is meek and serious, harkening back to when Goro left her here. Again, another complete change of emotion. What? You just said you want noodles. Pepper not want noodles. If she was still being a spoiled brat like a moment ago, I'd tell her too damn bad. But her totally
No,
defeated.
see, uh,
She's using noodles in two different capitalization tenses here. Noodles. Totally
it's not your fault that you can't see the actual dialogue.
You can't see the in-game dialogue, Noodles. Her totally defeated expression causes me pause. It's as if she was telling me she didn't want her head shaved. What's going on with her? It can't just be the noodles. We don't have time for this. She looks at me with big bronze eyes and a pleading expression. Doesn't suit her personality at all. Okay, what about... And so it begins. Pepper doesn't know what she wants to eat, but each time I suggest something to pull something out, she knows she doesn't want that. I scramble to find something that will satisfy her sudden, peculiar issue with the menu, and with each, Pepper not want. My anxiety builds. She was up all night and working all day. I get that she's tired and cranky, but this goes on for way too long. When I get back around to Noodles, I finally come to my senses and end this dumb game. Come with me. Get in, get clean. When you're done, turn off the water. I'm going to cook. You'll eat what I cook. Was that a smirk? I'm becoming paranoid. I put the pan on the stove and add the noodles like I should have from the start. Once the noodles, vegetables, and sauce are simmering, I'm finally able to relax a little, or at least I try. Why do I feel like there's something I've forgotten? Looking around the kitchen, nothing leaps at me. I have this nagging feeling of something I'm supposed to be doing. My life is crazy. I have a sick feral in my house. I have a domestic that is certifiably insane, doing a very good job making me crazy, too. And I have Mom's domestic that hits me like a truck. Claudia! Claudia ignores me as I rush into the sunroom. A pile of old bandages tells me she got tired of waiting and decided to do this by herself. She's removed the dressing from Shimi's arm and tail and started to rewrap her arm. Claudia, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to do 10 things at once. Here, I got it. The wrapping that Claudia started on Shimi's arm isn't bad. Just seems to be another one of those things that aren't intuitive to Oneko. You did a pretty good job. I undo and rewrap Shimi's arm. I'm about to start on her tail. The sound rockets through me, cutting through the last of my sanity, and my body goes rigid. Gotta be Sawbones. Of course, he's going to show up when I'm not in any way ready for him. Rushing to the front door, I do my best to regain what is left of my composure. Sawbones is wearing some kind of medical field uniform and a lab coat. Glossy black boots seem out of place with the ensemble. Well, you're a big girl. Let's hope you're friendly. Without any greeting, he steps past me. Claudia shyly regards him. It'd be better if she was seated or lying down. Also, something's burning. She's not that... Shh, nah. No rush. Sorry, Claudia's not. Shimi's back here. Quickly turning off the stove and removing the pan with our burned dinner, I lead a confused Sawbones into the sunroom. You have 2 Nekos. That's something you don't see every day. He gives me a sarcastic grin. I consider telling him about the 3rd cat girl and think better of it. Before I can move the conversation forward and discuss treating Shimi. Hey! Damn. Pepper, now clean and smelling of peach shampoo, briefly regards Sawbones. Then, ignoring him completely, turns her attention to the burnt and inedible food still smoldering in the pan. Pepper not want noodles. Sawbones tries to stifle a laugh, but can't. Unable to hide his amusement, he takes a moment to enjoy the scene. You're the strangest guy I've met in a while, and that's not an easy thing to do. I come across some real freaks. No, you see, I only had the one, and then... I don't even think there's a true collective noun for Nekos, because outside of the military, there's never this many in one place at the same time. Military Nekos are termed in plurals. A pounce of Nekos is 2, a riot of Nekos is 3, 4 or more is called a mutiny of Nekos. Mutiny! See, put that many together and pretty quickly they stop listening to their handlers. Within a week they desert, trying to either return to feral isolation or just be somewhere where there are fewer Nekos. He pauses and looks around at my riot of Nekos before delivering his punchline. Because not even a Neko wants to be around that many Nekos. So the military tries not to have more than 2 together in the same unit at any time, if it can be helped. Never more than 3. Another pause. His grin balloons again. What does the military know? He chuckles to himself and heads back into the sunroom. I can't tell if that last part is deliberate dripping with sarcasm, or if he really means it. With him, it could be either, and it could also be both. It's a long story, but yeah, I somehow ended up with 3. The feral, Shimi, is the sick one. In fact, she's... Wait. Taking a deliberate step back from Shimi, he turns to me, his expression heavy as steel. You have a sick, feral Neko, and that isn't something you thought maybe might be important for me to know. I scrambled to explain myself, but he's right. I'm so used to having Shimi around, I forgot how unheard of it is for a feral to be inside a person's home. A simple, oh, by the way, the Neko I need treated as feral, you know, dangerous, unpredictable, might pull your lips off if it feels threatened. He's holding in his flaring temper, but it's clear that I screwed up. You're right, I wasn't thinking, I'm sorry. Oh, well, as long as you're sorry. I mean, sorry, dude, won't stem the bleeding if she goes for my throat, but what's a good mauling between friends, right? After a long, awkward pause, he turns back to Shimi. How long has she been asleep? A little while, put antihistamines in her food so I could change her bandages, and... So you want her dead. Why didn't you just say so? Euthanizing a Neko is much cheaper than treating an infection. His deadpan way of asking leaves me reeling. What? No, I don't want her dead. Are you sure? Because that's what was just about to happen. See, us doctor types like to inject the wild murderous beastie with special medicine drugs to make her have nice sleepy time. So she doesn't suddenly wake up and claw her eyes out during the examination. And this sleepy drug combined with your sleepy drug, he explains it to me as if I were a small child. He pauses, waiting for me to realize how close I just came to killing Shimi. Oh. Yeah, sorry, dude. Claudia peeks around the corner from the living room doorway. Sawbones talking about death over my screw-up is doing nothing to relax her. I can feel her impatience growing with every minute of delay. Before I kick you out of here, is there anything else I should know? Like the fact that the Neko is a feral, or the fact that the feral Neko is already sedated, stuff like that. Think really hard. Take your time. I surrender. Humbly, I tell Sawbones the whole story.
Sawbones was kind of a jerk before, but good lord, he is like just laying into us. Also, I have to say, it is really funny to me that they just have the Claudius probably just like,
just like lean in.
Around. Yeah, it's like peek around corner, only head exposed.
See, actually, the really interesting thing is the couch is in front of Claudia in this scene, which tells me that each of these scenes has actually been independently layered. Like, it might just be that the couch is one particular asset floating in an otherwise, backdrop environment, but they still went to the measure, necessary to do that step. And you know what? I respect those little details.
You know what? You know how I'm imagining it probably works? And this is probably wrong, but here's what I'm thinking.
All right.
They have the foreground where Shimi and Sawbones are right now.
Right.
Then you have kind of a middle where you would have background assets, for instance, I think this is the way it is because we have seen this room without the couch before.
Right.
And then you have, in the background, we have Claudia. So it's a case of literally just, as you say, just a bunch of layers. And so...
Yeah. Well, I did something it's really similar.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. Mechanically, it's not a complex idea, but they took the time to make it so the couch is in front of Claudia and behind Shimi, obviously. Yeah. Exactly. I did something really similar, actually, in the Shadow the Hedgehog review, because the courtroom was split up across 3 layers, so that way my avatar and Sneckworth could sit behind their respective desks. So it actually gave an illusion of depth.
As we should, Snek, of course, because we need to be behind the desks in order to be proper, and we need to be proper gentlemen in the courtroom.
Yes, if you walk out into the middle of the courtroom floor without asking permission, the bailiff is actually supposed to tackle your butt and knock you to the floor. Because you're not supposed to approach the judge without asking first.
Because remember, this is, you have to remember that the legal court proceedings of common law, which is the law system that the American justice system is derived from, was based off of English medieval law, whereon it was assumed everyone was armed at all times.
Yep.
So it's assumed
Sneckberg is a safe assumption.
It's assumed you have a weapon and you are going to use it on the judge.
Yep.
Which is a safe assumption.
And generally frowned upon in polite society.
Yeah, you shouldn't attack people and provoke them, okay? You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that I have to say this, okay? Don't attack people with your unregulated bazookas, okay?
Obviously. They didn't make me turn off my bazooka before the film. There would be way more people leaving in a smoldering crater.
That's a reference.
Yeah. Finding Shimi and bringing her inside, crushing antihistamines into her food and changing her bandages, her staying in the closet, her stash with a can of crushed tomatoes, how she seemed to get better, and then Claudia telling me today that she was sick. And then I texted you. Sawbones regards you with a flat, unrevealing expression. Okay, I'll need to adjust the dosage of the sedative. Your antihistamine, when, and what kind? I grab the box and hand it to him as I give details by crushing it into her broth, Claudia feeding most of the broth to Shimi. Go collect any old prescriptions you have around here. I'll take them with me when I'm done. All right, big girl. Let me have some time with your friend. I'll let you know when you can come back. Sawbones prepares a needle. I nod to Claudia. He's doing it now. Sawbones will help her.
All right. Yeah. The funny thing is he says all that and immediately puts on his mask, and my first reaction is like, I can't stand this I can't breathe in the cringe. I need to put on my mask now.
Sorry, Noodles, you emit way too much cringe.
Aw, man. Aw, man. Aw, jeez.
Opening the top drawer of my dresser reveals the box that holds my valuables and a wad of cash, my monthly disbursement. I grab most of the money in it for Sawbones, then take a quick peek into Pepper's room to see what she's up to, but I don't find her there. I start over with dinner. Claudia doesn't join me. She paces around the living room instead. For a while, I just stare at the ingredients frying in the pan. Pepper not want noodles. Brat Cat's back in the kitchen. She's again frustrating my attempt to get dinner finished. I can't help but feel this is simply a bid for attention. I leash my building anger.
Yes.
And it tugs at the restraint.
Yes, actually. This is the reason why we say you are dense as a neutron star, Noodles.
Yes.
You're kind of dumb.
Yes, you do. You want noodles. You like noodles. And that's why I have no idea why you're saying you don't. But you know what, Pepper?
Yes.
You're getting noodles. You're going to eat noodles. You're going to like noodles. End of story. So give me a
my.
You don't like. We kind of have the benefit of having played the other two routes, but if this was the first route that you played through, you wouldn't know that she had used that as a nickname for the protagonist. So like this scene comes off entirely different because of order of operations.
Yeah, I get that. Honestly, this is just funnier, even more because of it. Because like, actually, this is what they're driving at. Actually, is a really good twist.
It is,
because you probably honestly, I wouldn't think about that. You know, she's saying that, but with this prior knowledge, it's like, wow,
this just got way sillier. So give me a break.
It's just like, are you sure about what you're saying there?
Oh, in this route, yes. Oh yeah, 3 Nekos aren't too many. The military are idiots. Sawbones interrupts us. He's got his medical bag. He also has an orange trash bag containing something thick and rope-like. All done. I removed her tail. I can only imagine what both Pepper and I react with what this looks like looks of raw shock, because Sawbones instantly explains what he meant by removed her tail. Her tail was the problem. Leaving it would have eventually killed her. It wasn't an option. Will she be alright without her tail? Are you alright without a tail? Yeah, but I'm not a Neko. You know what? It doesn't matter. He's already cut it off. I try to picture Shimi without a tail, but just can't. So she loses her tail no matter what. There is no saving the tail, regardless of what story you go down.
So she becomes one of those Japanese bobtails then.
Yep. I hand in the payment.
Have you ever seen one of those?
Yeah. Actually, I have seen that breed.
They are very funny. They're kind of like fat little penguin cats.
Yeah, they kind of are. I never made the penguin association till you said it, but now that you have, I definitely see what you're talking about. I hand in the payment and a bag with all of Mia's old prescriptions. Here, I'll trade you. Someone hands me the orange bag with one hand and takes the money and prescriptions with the other. I'm unprepared to feel the weight of Shimi's tail. Unbalanced by it, I feel the blood rush to my feet and the room slowly starts to spin. That is called a vertigo. You might want to sit down, dude. You better give me that bag back. Your residential incinerator will take weeks to process this. I have access to an industrial one. I think that is a good idea. Someone rescues me before I can faint, but my ego is beyond saving. Antibiotics
Really? Really? Tail? Really? It's like, what, like 2 pounds, maybe?
I don't think it's like the weight itself isn't what upsets him. It's the fact that it used to be like attached to her and now suddenly it's not. And he's just like, oh God, I can feel it kind of thing.
No, I get that. I mean, it's more, I'm just like, your residential incinerator would never be able to do this. It's like, okay.
I don't want to imagine what smelted cat hair smells like. Nothing good comes out of that. Antibiotics are inside her. Dissolving implant which continuously gives the correct dosage. I didn't want you to give her a few and then when she feels better, the rest ends up in your medicine cabinet. That's how we end up with the turbo chlamydia. Remove the bandage after 2 days. She won't need it after that.
Again.
Keep it clean. The stitches will dissolve on their own. And hey, yeah? He pauses but says nothing. It starts to get uncomfortable. When finally he speaks, it comes out gentle, fatherly. She should start getting better. If she doesn't, if she starts acting confused or runs high fever, you will call me immediately. Do you understand? He gets his point across. I quickly nod. Confused or high fever, call you immediately. Someone looks at me for a long time. Good. Bye. I managed not to burn dinner on my second attempt. After eating too quickly, Peppery heads off. I was just thinking that. After eating too quickly, Pepper heads off to bed, and I rush to get cleaned up. The shower feels good. I really don't want to get out, but I still have a lot to do tonight. I do a quick check on Claudia and Shimi. Both of them are fast asleep in a sunroom that smells of antiseptic. The treatment of our feral friend hit me pretty hard in the wallet, but seeing the two of them lying together makes me glad I could help. Though I'm tempted to check out the bandage spot where Shimi once had a tail, I just don't have time. The rest of my evening is spent scouring the internet and immersing myself into the exciting, fun-filled world of patching a hole in a wall. Different professionals demonstrating the do's and don'ts are watched and rewatched. Copious notes are taken. It's like cramming for an exam. Unfortunately, the more I learn, the less prepared I feel. Veronica's a pro. Unless I do it right, she'll know it was patched. Even if a pro does it, you'll probably know it was patched, dude. Just being honest here. I've seen drywall work.
I'm just saying, you should probably just come clean to her. Say, hey, look, this happened. I'm sorry. I patched your wall.
Well, I want to make it up to you. Let me patch your wall as a way of making it up to you kind of thing would be a good approach. My dad was a carpenter back when I was a tiny, tiny hatchling Snek. And I've seen the extensiveness of, like, that kind of work. And even the best of the best, you'll see... like one part of the wall will be slightly discolored or bulge out ever so slightly from the rest of it.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know, Papa Snek. I don't remember what we called him. Mr. Snek? Whatever.
He's my
He has had so many... Yeah, Snek Dad has had so many hats. So many hats.
Yes.
It's wild.
I think he's done basically just about everything in his time. Everything that he's physically capable of doing, I'm pretty confident he's done at least once. On the surface, it seemed like it would be an easy task. Spread some plaster, cover with paint, but there's so much involved in doing it right. The worst part is that these how-to videos that made me realize my greatest fear. This is not going to be a quick job. I was so hoping to be done in a day.
Nope.
Not a chance.
No.
Nope. I've been talking to myself.
So here's what you do. You come clean to her. You get a glass of, or you get some wine.
Sit her down on the bearskin rug in front of the fire.
Are we wearing the special underwear for this?
Oh, of course. Absolute must.
Sorry.
Sorry. I've been talking to myself and only realized it when I look up and see Pepper in the doorway. She's got that odd, apprehensive expression on her face again. This is the third time I found her looking at me this way, and I have no idea what this look is supposed to mean. I wish she'd stop doing it. It's just wrong on her. Not Peppery at all. Pepper strolls in carrying a book. I don't even try to be diplomatic. Pepper, there is no possible chance you'll get me to read to you tonight. I'm trying to figure out how to fix. I'm unable to finish the sentence. Trying to fix Veronica's wall. Trying? Or just setting myself up for failure. The quiet panic is back. Like a crumbling dam, the doubt I've been repressing surges over me, washing away the flimsy belief that we ever had a prayer at fixing that wall. I don't think I can do this. Stark admission surprises both of us. I don't even know if she has any of the things I need to do it, which means before I can even start, I'd have to snoop through her house for tools and material. Damn it, that's right. I'm sure some store in town sells what I need, but I don't have time to go find them. There's just no time for any of this. I'm already lying to Veronica, and now I'm planning to snoop through her house? That's just too creepy. Pepper trots over and climbs onto the bed, rejecting my concerns with a dismissive smile. Seeming to anticipate my rising anxiety, Pepper opens her book and nods. It's a children's book about a Neko kitten catching a rat. She points to the picture. Not Snoop. Hunt rat. We get rat. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. She's telling me not to worry. She's either trying to make me feel better, or she simply doesn't see how serious the situation is. Maybe both? It doesn't tell. I wonder if this is how Claudia felt earlier today with Shimi when I told her not to worry. Pepper, there is no rat. Comes out sounding like defeat. Pepper looks at me like I just told her that my head was made of cheese. It isn't. It just feels that way. She shakes her head and rolls her eyes at me. Pepper, fix Veronica. Pepper, say rat. Veronica, say rat. Now you. Say rat. Pepper's blind faith and confidence in a positive outcome stirs a tiny part of me that still desperately wants to believe we can do it. Only because I really don't have the stomach to come clean with Veronica. But I don't think it will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm really worried that I'm going to make this problem worse than it already is. Maybe we just need to tell her... No! The desire to flat out give up the idea that I can fix the wall and the impulse to lose control and yell at Pepper for creating and escalating this problem are both stayed by Pepper's expression. Something about it catches me off guard. She points at my phone that's still playing a video on the proper usage of a plastering hawk and a finishing trowel. Her voice is almost a whisper as Pepper leans back towards me and nods. Pepper, fix Veronica. You fix Hole. Her tone is less conspiratorial than I expect, like she genuinely needs me to believe that I can do this and everything will work out fine. Then fix Pepper. She looks away, and her voice trails off. Rubbing my forehead... Rubbing my forehead actually does stop the throbbing doubt from returning. I know I should give up on this whole idea. I should, but I don't. That same part of me that foolishly believes there's a chance of success doesn't want to let Pepper down. I don't know why, especially since she's the one who got me into this mess. Pepper, you need to go. She looks startled. If I'm going to have any chance at all of doing this, then I need to study and figure out. Strained, I finish the sentence. How to fix a rat. Pepper grins in quiet triumph. But I can't focus with you here. Her grin falls away. Insulted, her lips press together and her brow furrows. In one quick movement, she turns away, rises, and stomps out of my room, grumbling to herself. It takes me a moment to regain my concentration and suppress the desire to turn off the light and go to sleep. And then another moment to convince myself that I'm not biting off more than I can chew. Maybe everything will work out easy peasy? The deep sigh, I restart the video on how to use a plastering hawk and a finishing trowel, and I pick up where I left off making notes. Another night of not enough sleep behind me, another day of stress ahead. Veronica is a good neighbor, a good person. Lying to her bothers me. It's not too late to tell her the truth. She was pretty upset when Goro accidentally broke her fence, and very forgiving when he didn't so much fix it as install the gate. I think that's only because it's a really nice gate. Expensive and well made. Something about her being an artist can appreciate the aesthetic of it. Still, it's not a fence. I don't know why Goro did that. I have to at least try and fix that damn wall. Maybe do a really good job, then tell her. Maybe. Getting it fixed is the first and foremost priority, and that means getting my ass up and over there. Claudia's about to enter the bathroom as I'm exiting. She looks tired, too. Morning, Claus. How's Shimi doing? Rests. Mending now. And you? Thinking for a moment, Claudia sighs, then nods that she's all right. That's not very convincing. I know you'll take good care of Shimi. Make sure that you also take good care of you. She smiles in appreciation. I wish that I was better at managing things. I should have made you and Shimi more of a priority yesterday. Claudia carefully studies me and then nods again. I have to go next door again. Hopefully Shimi will sleep all day. If you need anything, I don't care how small, come get me and I'll rush back home. Telling her that makes her small smile feel more real. Let's hope that Claudia doesn't need anything today. That wall is going to require every available bit of focus that I have. Breakfast comes together quickly. Eggs for the girls, broth for Shimi. However, a major roadblock presents itself as I quickly swallow my eggs and get ready to leave. Where did I leave Veronica's house key? Not believing my own eyes, I stare at the spot on the kitchen counter where I always leave keys. Mine are there, Veronica's are not. Please don't tell me that on top of everything, now I lost your keys too. They're not in the living room, in the bathroom, or in my bedroom. I can't believe this is happening. I double-check where they should be, but then start looking where they couldn't be. So I slide open the door to Pepper's room, then realize that Pepper is also missing, causes the already stirring dread in the pit of my stomach to bubble. I have a bad feeling about this. Veronica's door is unlocked. Pepper is waiting for me. She's already moved the painting, clearing the area around the damaged wall. Look! Pepper grabs my hand and drags me into Veronica's foyer. Her smug grin only reinforces the concern that somehow she's further complicated everything. See? Remarkably, I couldn't be more wrong. Bingo! Inside the closet, buckets of paint and plaster, brushes, and other tools of the trade greet us. Not the small, delicate brushes or tubes of paint that she uses for fine art, but the big industrial buckets and rollers that Veronica uses for remodeling with her dad. Pepper found them. Pepper snatches 2 hand tools from a box, holding them up, one in each hand. Plaster hawk, finish trowel, easy peasy. That's amazing! She cocks a hip, handing them to me. Pepper watched just a few minutes of that video with the tools, remembered them, and then was able to come here and find them. Thanks. Very pleased with herself, Pepper tosses me Veronica's house keys and skips off toward the kitchen. You should go home. She spins abruptly, looking confused, then remarks indignantly. Pepper, help. You have. A lot. She really did. She saved me from a lot of time hunting for those tools and supplies. She also saved me having to go through Veronica's stuff. What I mean is, I made you breakfast. You should go home and eat before it gets cold. I'll be home later, as soon as I deal with the rat. She lets out an aggravated huff, then reluctantly heads towards the back door. Oh, Pepper, do me a favor and try not to pester Claudia. She really needs her rest. I hear her pause. I can almost feel my back heat up from the angry stare she must be giving me. Pepper heads home. Sorry, but you can't hang around. I really do need to be distraction-free for this, and that just won't happen with you here. I pull out my notes, dig through Veronica's closet, and find all the things I'm going to need. It's all here! I make a mental note of where I found each item. Everything looks like it's been haphazardly shoved into the closet, but I still need to make sure it goes back in the way it came out. Work on the damaged wall is painstakingly slow. Even meticulously following the step-by-step notes I made for myself, I occasionally pull up a video on my phone just to make sure that I don't screw up anything. Fortunately, there are some things I have going for me. It's more of a dent than a hole. There's a central air conduit behind it. Pepper must have heard the scratching echo through the ductwork at some point and thought it was right here. Looks like it was kicked. Guess I'm the only thing she punches. The duct keeps the damage shallow and on the surface. Also, the damage is low on the wall, around thigh height, less noticeable than if it was staring at you from eye level. Finally, Veronica has stuff everywhere. Paintings, art projects, drop cloths, easels. The spot isn't obvious, with so much other stuff around it to distract you. Hint of cautious optimism takes root. My mood lifts as the chalky smell of wet plaster mingles with the ever-present fragrance of solvents and latex from the acrylic and oil painting that surrounds me. Maybe this will be easy peasy. My mind drifts as I relax into the job. I imagine...
I wouldn't.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Noodles. You have a propensity for making things way more complicated than they actually are.
Not that I can blame him. I really have the same issue.
Yeah. My mind drifts as I relax into the job. The image of Pepper pulling out and holding up tools hangs in my thoughts as I work. Plastered hawk, finished trowel. Without my notes, I wouldn't have remembered them or what they're called. Damn it. I made my first big mistake on the repair, which means I have to go back a step and try again. I can't let this setback spoil my mood. Just fix it and move forward. While I catch back up to where I was, my mind again dressed, playing with the puzzle that is Pepper. Neko's brains are weird. Things that are intuitive and things that aren't are perplexing. Like Claudia. She does a great job with the garden, houseplants, folding and putting away clothes. But even though Mom tried to teach her a bunch of things, she never got the hang of things like sewing or knitting. She's extremely bright. It just wasn't something she could get her head around, which I always found strange because she can tie knots and bows and braid her hair. Neko has such an alien way of thinking and approaching things, like Pepper. She likes books, can count and calculate, figured out how to look through pictures on my phone, and she can pick tools out of a box by name. But she can't run the shower? Or work the TV's remote control? Bet if SinKitty was on TV, she'd figure out how to use the remote. Crap! Second screw up. I'm rushing the job and making dumb mistakes. Rookie mistakes. I'm also making a mess. I stopped work on the wall to clean the glob of wet plaster off the floor. Step outside to give myself a quick break and try to revive my confidence. I can see why people smoke. Now would be a good time for one. Nah, don't do that. Smoking is disgusting. And I'm allergic to smoke, and if you smoke, you're going to smell bad, and I'm not going to want to stand near you. So don't do it. The how-to videos really made it look easy. Never believes I can do this. Pepper. I really hope she isn't bothering Claudia and Shamey. If she had other outlets for her energy, she'd be happier, and by extension, the rest of us would be happier too. Maybe I can get Pepper a jump rope. Several deep breaths later, I'm back in front of the damaged spot of the wall. Jump rope? That's an odd thought out of nowhere, but not a terrible idea. Would Pepper even like a jump rope? She's athletic and likes counting, so a jump rope might be a great idea. Maybe she could find a challenge in it, to see how many jumps she can do without stopping. That may occupy and unbore her, at least for a while each day. But who knows with Pepper? She might see it as a great idea, or she might look at me like I'm an idiot for suggesting it. Even if she thinks it's a great idea, she still might look at me like I'm an idiot for suggesting it. I worked for a while in
Welcome
the
to Cats, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
That is true facts, let me tell you. I worked for a while and the images in my head blur into a paste which spreads across a wall, filling cavities and smoothing out an emptiness. Done? Pepper's back. We both scrutinize the work. I'm really not sure if this is a good job. It does look a lot like the images from the videos. I guess that's good. Not yet. I have to sand it and paint. It's a 2-day job, and that assumes I did everything correctly. And that Veronica won't take her key back tonight. Pepper, fix Veronica. Listen, Pepper, I really don't like that we're lying to... Look out, rat! Her words snap through the room like the crack of a whip. A wave of hot fear flashes through me. Pepper leaps forward. My body reflexively drops into a crouch, and I grip the tool so tightly I feel fire rip through my knuckles from the strain. Where? Where? Bah! Pepper doubles over in laughter, delighted with herself at pranking me. She has that smirk. Goro's smirk. Goro's Neko is not funny. See? Pepper fix Veronica. And you, flinch, punch or pinch. Pepper, go home! I just surprised myself for snapping at her like that. Pepper, also unprepared for my reaction, unballs her fist and steps back away from me. I immediately want to apologize for my outburst, but I'm just really stressed. I don't need this right now. I shake my head and go back to the wall. Between the screw-ups and my glacial slow pace, it's almost noon. 5 minutes of work took all morning. I have no idea where all that time went. After finishing everything I can do today, it takes every ounce of my willpower not to try and paint on the uncured plaster. I have to wait. I clean up, put everything back where I found it. Pepper not want dumplings. She speaks directly to the dumplings in the pan. The dumplings reply with a bubbling pop as they simmer. I keep my voice low so we don't disturb Claudia or Shimi. You can have dumplings, or a sandwich, or be hungry. Pick one. Shimi is sleeping. Last night's leftovers came Claudia's lunch. She ate them cold while I was working next door. So even though it's just me and Pepper, this is taking much more energy than it should. Maybe she's butthurt that I didn't let her hang out while I was working on the hole. Feed Pepper. I'm trying to... Pepper want noodles. I'm making dumplings. Pepper not hungry. Fine, then you don't get lunch. Want to choke her? I grab the bread and start making her a sandwich anyway as insurance for when I start to eat and she decides that she is hungry. The moment I got back from Veronica's, Pepper started following me around the house, either not saying anything or talking nonsense, like now. Hungry, then not hungry. Wants dumplings, then doesn't want dumplings. I'm not sure which is worse, the bickering for the sake of filling the silence or the quiet when it feels like she's waiting me out. Are you sure you don't want anything to eat? Nah. Nah, she doesn't want anything, or nah, she's not sure? I don't care. The dumplings' crispy, fried skin sizzle and shimmer, perfect and delicious on my plate. I start to clean up and give the dumplings a chance to cool down, but then decide to leave most of the mess where it is. Giving the pan and counter a quick wipe is enough for now. I can get the rest later, if Claudia doesn't get to it first. I don't make dumplings often. It's a lot of work, but I have to say the effort is worth it. They're one of my favorites. I'm still wound up from the past few days' stress, but cooking helped relax me. My plate is conspicuously lacking my lunch. All but one of the dumplings that were on the plate just a moment ago have vanished, and of course Pepper is chewing. My dumplings. Pepper drew it, she says with a mouthful of hot dumplings and suddenly brighter mood. I suppressed the initial reaction to be angry. This is my fault for leaving them unattended around the brat cat. You are a hellion. You know that, right? I asked you if you were hungry, and you told me no. Pepper swallows and beams like she just won a bet. Her broad smile is full of teeth. She squints in a sultry way that makes me unconsciously place my hand over my pocket to make sure my wallet hasn't been stolen. Oh, so Pepper must be part Pugum, then. Pepper, not hungry.
You know, I might need to draw a Pepper Pugum now.
Are we gonna make the spin-off sequel Omo Pugum?
Obo Pugum. Wait, where'd my credit card go? Why is there a jacuzzi?
Why is there suddenly a jacuzzi here? I rent this place. You're not hungry, but you ate my dumplings.
Why are you adding a second story?
How? Nah, not Pepper. Sashimi did it. We both know Shimi didn't. I stopped myself. Logic doesn't seem to work. In that case, maybe I'll have to give Shimi story time. Sashimi, Pepper, story time. Nummy, yummy, good time. Bucks and stacks, no takebacks. Pepper completely sidesteps my bait, replying with a grin far too large for her face. The worst part, as frustrating as all this is, on any other day I'd be able to find enjoyment in it. You're evil. Pepper not evil. Pepper, you're Neko, yeah? You lucky have Pepper. Pepper awesome Neko. She gets serious, popping my last dumpling into her mouth. I had no idea she saw herself as mine. I pretend that doesn't surprise me to keep from losing any more ground. Lucky? Sure. Bad luck is a kind of luck. And with a grimace, I pick up the sandwich I made for her and take a bite. Pepper laughs. After lunch, I make a quick run to the store to grab antihistamines for Shimi and a few things I need for dinner. The rest of the afternoon's focus is in making more dumplings to fry up at dinner time, and then preparing to finish the job of Veronica's tomorrow. Pepper seems to never be too far away from whatever I'm doing, weirdly and quietly watching me. The only time she's not shadowing me is when she acts like she isn't and gazes at the window. I automatically assume she's plotting something. It's strange, being in the shower without a certain high-maintenance Neko annoyingly banging on the door. I wonder if I should be concerned. Likely she's just being her erratic and unpredictable peppery self. Whatever. The unsettled feeling fades. Under the hot water, my shoulders accept that no interruptions are forthcoming, and somewhat relax. It's not until some of the stress sheds that I realize how wound up I've been the past 2 days. I did alright today. I really did. That was my first time patching a wall, and it came out pretty good. But tomorrow, I'm really not looking forward to seeing Veronica. She'll be home soon, and she'll probably come by to check if the rat came back. What am I going to do if she takes her keys? Nothing to do about that unless it happens. For now, just wait and hope for the best. The sound of an outside door closing gets my attention. I wrap a towel around myself and peek into the foyer. Pepper's standing there. She raises her eyebrows and grins mischievously on seeing me wearing nothing but a towel. Pepper, were you outside? In the front? Yep. Outside in front where people could see her. One of the things I dreaded growing up was that people would find out my mom and I had a Neko. I never wanted that stigma attached to me, being known as one of those Neko guys. Goro never cared. He wore it as a badge of honor, but he could just say, "We had rats." Then tell about Pepper's hunting like she was a star of an action movie. I even saw him use it to pick up girls. You should come back to my place and meet my Neko. I'm grateful that the only one of my neighbors that knows I'm a Neko guy is Veronica, and thankfully she's extremely cool about it. But now Pepper was out front. Swallowing hard, I start to ask why when Pepper points outside and explains. Fix Veronica, Pepper Prowly Cat. Check one more time tomorrow. Make sure no rat. Pepper gives me a wink to highlight her deception. So the gazing out the window earlier was Pepper waiting for Veronica to come home so she could rush out and tell her some story about no rats today, but she'll check tomorrow to be sure. My back relaxes, shedding the tension that was twisting through my shoulder blades again. Half of me is relieved that Pepper took care of Veronica, saving me from having to lie to her, including me to finish the wall tomorrow. The other half is unhappy that Pepper keeps deepening the deception. My stomach tightens as the anxiety finds a new home. All of me is ready to lock her in her room for the rest of her life. I can feel my face tighten to a stony expression as I take slow, deliberate steps towards Pepper. Closing the distance between us causes her to crouch slightly and her eyes to open wide. Pepper's hands slightly tremble as I hold them in mine. Her breathing comes in quick, short bursts. She gently bites her bottom lip. I speak slowly, my voice sounding strange and quiet. Hey, Pepper. Yeah, Pepper? Listen carefully. Don't ever go out the Text notification interrupts my lecture about never going outside using the front door before it begins. I release Pepper's hands to grab my phone from the small table. She straightens her skirt and watches me check my message. Just hope this is from Sawbones or Veronica. Anyone that is not Mia. Holy crap. Goro? Shock at seeing a message from Goro caused me to shudder violently. A towel drops from my waist. Goro, gimme! Ignoring my nakedness, Pepper is instantly at my side. She crowds next to me and snatches the phone away. Grateful my hands are free, I clumsily grab and reaffix my towel. Yeah, he sent a message. Pepper's body gets rigid. Her breathing becomes slow and measured. Her eyes lock hard on my phone. Beneath the excitement, I can feel her mood revert right back to that day Goro dumped her at my front door. Sullen, fragile. Read Pepper Goro message. Please? After a pause, and against my better judgment, I do. Hey, sexy pants, I only have a minute. Boot camp is done, it's official, I'm awesome. Ask me how many push-ups I can do sometime. Now, I'm just waiting for the Army Medic training course to start. Meanwhile, the medical dude here found out about my EMT background. So all my time is spent in this paperwork, bitch. Data entry. It's official. Not awesome. My phone's not working, don't ask. But the good news, I'm at the local base, and there is internet on this computer. Don't rat me out. I'll shoot you messages when I can. Pew pew. Anyway, did you ever get back with Mia? Got this feeling you will, and it won't end well, so don't do it. I expect to hear about you hooking up with that waitress instead. I want many lurid and kinky details. Pepper takes a step away. Goro's a good friend. If a bit of a goober. She quietly stares at my phone.
Oh no, I can already tell what's going on.
He didn't take any time to think about her. Pepper takes a step away. She quietly stares at my phone long after I close the message. Without a word, she heads towards her room. Poor Pepper. He didn't even ask about her. Pepper reappears while I'm preparing dinner. Presumably with clothes on, I assume. Just remember, guys.
No, Pepper am nudist now.
Pepper am naturalist. I meant noodles. Like, naked cooking may sound like a very, sultry position, but like if you're frying something, you're gonna get grease all over and it's gonna burn.
Pepper am now ideological libertarian. Pepper am
that
no longer bound by.
Well, that explains the low IQ at least.
Oh, that's not. Oh.
I have to poke fun. I have to poke fun. We have fun here. I'm just giving everyone a hard time. It's what I do. I don't mean anything by it.
That's an interesting glass house.
See, I used to be a libertarian myself, and then I aged past 13, so... we have fun here.
Around your solar age of what, like 48?
Nah, I mean 58, but who's counting really? I still miss my pet Ankylosaurus. I would ride him to school uphill both ways in the snow.
Meanwhile, pet Ankylosaurus is right behind you, just
staring,
crying.
It's but I'm right here.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, is the sequel spinoff going to be OmOneko?
Yeah, I'd play that.
That sounds pretty cool, actually. Hey, game dev, free game idea for your next VN.
There's Chatiko, there's the Ankylosaur. There's Ducky for the truly dark ending. Yup.
Ooh. Ooh, dark.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was, yeah. If you know, you know.
We're not explaining it.
Oof. No.
Because, talk about heartbreaking endings.
Yes.
She stands there for a minute or two, then heads back down the hallway towards her room, only to return a moment later. My phone vibrates again. Another message. 3 since I started cooking. Each time Pepper flashes a look like she had leaned back too far in a chair and it almost fell over. I don't even have to check the message to know it's Goro. I'm certainly not going to read them while Pepper's around. Pepper again turns and heads back down the hallway towards her room. I grab my phone and shoot Goro a quick, "Hey dude, great to hear from you. Crazy busy Neko people stuff. We'll write more later." Oops, Pepper's back. She saw me. I feel like a kid caught with my hand in the cookie jar. "Who waitress?" "What?" "Waitress! Who waitress?" "The waitress? Oh, just someone." Pepper takes 2 angry breaths, starts to storm off again, and then turns back. With enough sass to curl a steel eye beam, she glares hard at me. Frustration boils over and she unloads. "Maybe just someone fix Veronica. Maybe just someone." "Too noisy now. She me sleep." Claudia appears, complaining about volume. "Asleep, awake, no difference for big dumb fish cake." Pepper's coppery eyes rage. Claudia becomes the target of Pepper's frustration. "Sashimi, big dork. Claudia, pet, can't use sport. Claudia, bigger dumb, self-demote. Can't think, won't." Claudia's cheeks flush red. She looks like she's about to match Pepper's anger with her own. I have to intervene before this escalates. But it's the beastly hint of a sound, a barely audible growl that stops it. We all freeze. Our eyes lock on Shimi in the sunroom doorway. The Pharaoh's eyes seem to glare at Pepper with some combination of anger and determination. Her long, slow breaths, a quiet, inhuman snarl. There's a pause that feels eternal where no one does anything. Pepper, Claudia. I quietly say their names, but I have no clue what I'm supposed to say after that. Claudia gently leads Shimi back into the sunroom. Pepper and I stand watching the doorway, waiting to see what comes next. Claudia reemerges shortly after. Without Shimi, with a much more calm expression on her face, she walks up to Pepper. Slap! Bad cat. She then returns to the sunroom. I think it's the first actual, bit of physical violence minus the rats. In the entire game, even. The strike, though not hard, catches Pepper flat-footed. She rubs her cheek as her eyes get glossy. Pepper, not bad cat. Pepper. Whatever thoughts were going through Pepper's mind just now suddenly seemed to disappear as she remembered I'm standing there. Pepper rushes down the hallway and returns to her room, shutting the door behind her. The need to do something about what just happened is superseded by the greater need to deal with the cooking before it burns. At least it'll give everyone time to cool off. I should eat, but I have no appetite. I fix a plate of dumplings for each of the girls, which I leave for them on the table. Right now I'm doing Claudia's chores, folding the clean laundry. She's taking care of Shimi, and after that moment in the kitchen, I want Claudia with Shimi to keep an eye on her and keep her calm. I just feel like I'm about to suffocate, being buried alive under constant demands, responsibilities, and work that I don't know how to do. I'm wound too tight from the lack of time to do it all. Claudia caring for Shimi is one less thing I have to worry about. Even still, folding laundry is a tedious task which takes time I'd rather be spending getting ready for tomorrow. I really just want to get back to watching Painting for Noobs right now. I have to finish that wall. I have to do a good job. Once I get that done, I'll have time to give attention to Pepper. We really need to sit down and have a long conversation. Since the incident at Veronica's house started, she's been acting even weirder than normal. Calling it moody doesn't even come close. She's taking Nutty Neko to a new level. Pepper needs my attention, Shimi and Claudia need my attention, and now Goro. Damn it, Goro. I haven't even had time to read all the texts he sent. I want to be happy that Goro has contacted me, but it's caused Pepper's mood to nosedive. I can't pretend that he didn't abandon her. It was messed up. Messed her up, and that makes me want to sit him down too. I'll talk with Pepper. I guess I need to have some kind of talk with Claudia also, just later. Just let me finish the wall tomorrow. Then I'll have time to figure out the rest of it. Yeah, the waiting's the real killer, though. source. I am extremely anxious and basically just in a perpetual state of always being extremely high-strung all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I leave Claudia's clean laundry on her chair at the dining table. Claudia and Shimi's plates are gone. Pepper's is still there, untouched. Not wanting to disturb Pepper, I leave her small pile of clean folded clothes outside her bedroom door. I hate to admit to myself, but I hope she stays in there all night. Just one more day, Pepper. Finally, I'm ready to get back to watching the painting videos, but of course now I can't find my phone. Damn it! I'm losing my mind. Every second I spend looking for it makes my irritation grow. It becomes agitation, and then frustration, and then anger. I can't bother Claudia or ask her to help me find it. She's in with Shimi. I'm tempted to get Pepper, but right now I'm just too furious with myself. I'm afraid I'll end up taking my frustration out on her, like she did with Claudia. How could I have lost my phone? Several stressful days with little sleep have caught up to me. Hell, I think I've packed several days worth of stress in the last few hours alone. My patience is gone, and I'm ready to break. I can feel my cheeks flushing red. Swallowing the bile, I give up for now. I can't deal with this now. I'll find the damn thing later. Grab my notepad, return to my room, and review my notes. Sometime later, I hear Pepper's door slide open. If I don't make sure she's eaten before I go to bed, she'll be hungry at 3 in the morning. Hey, Pepper, your dinner's on the table. Come on, I'll warm it up for you. Yeah? Once we're in the kitchen, I stop short, nearly tripping over myself. There on the kitchen counter, right next to my and Veronica's house keys, is my phone. This is impossible. I looked there. Didn't I? Instead of being relieved at finding it, my sanity comes into question. I really think I'm going mad. I always leave it on the small table in the foyer. I don't turn it on. I don't even check it, because if there is even the slightest thing wrong with it, I'm afraid I'll smash it into a million pieces in frustration. For now, I just jam it into my pocket. Pepper looks like she's about to demand noodles or something, but seeing my twisted expression, she simply closes her mouth. I quickly reheat her dinner, so I can get back to my room and finishing this maddening night. Immersed into an evening of painting videos, too quickly I get to the point where I'm saturated and no longer able to pay attention. I'm completely overwhelmed. My once confident vision of a simple task of rolling some paint onto plaster has been crushed by too much frustration and self-doubt. I guess I'll find out tomorrow if all this stress was worth a damn. I know Veronica has the paint. I saw it in her closet. She even wrote dining room on the can, so I know that it's the right color. But that doesn't matter. If I didn't do the plaster right, no amount of paint is going to make it look good. What if I get there and the plaster's cracked or didn't set right? So many things could go wrong. Too much is out of my control. Hashtag relatable. I'm so deep into this that there's no way out but through, finishing the job. I'm terrified it will just be a giant mess, a lie that only ends badly. I'm completely spent and just need to go to bed right now. Hey! Pepper appears in the doorway. She wants something. She always wants something. Maybe it's the demanding look in her eyes, or maybe that she's expectantly holding her SinKitty book that makes all the anger return. There's no way I have the energy to read to her, but this is Pepper, so just saying not tonight won't work. I feel myself getting mad. I have no interest in debating with her, or hearing her whine or complain, or letting her turn this into any kind of negotiation. I need to cut this off quickly. What now, Pepper? Wait, let me guess. You want me to drop what I'm doing and cater to your latest whim? The words snap at her like a bolt of lightning. My tone is harsh. It's clearly not what Pepper was expecting. Of course not. She gets her way all the time. Goro gave her no boundaries, so why would she expect me to ever say no? It's not the middle of the night, so it's too early for me to get up and cook you something. You need me to run to the store for something that can't wait till tomorrow. Oh, maybe you want me to take a shower so you can bang on the door and demand I get out. I feel like a spectator outside of my own body, watching myself berate Pepper. I should stop this. Before I can, Pepper blinks quickly and narrows her eyes at me, defiant. Makes my blood boil. Here's something you probably never heard before. I don't care what you want. Whatever Princess Pepper needs right now, too bad, she's not gonna get it. The voice coming from me isn't mine. It's my pent-up aggravation spitting dark anger at Pepper. My cheeks flush red and the heat surges inside me. I can't stop it. I'm tired of being used and manipulated by a spoiled, rotten Neko. All you care about's yourself. It's all you've ever cared about and all you ever will care about. So tell me, why should anyone give a rat's ass about you? Runaway train. Car with no brakes on a steep hill picking up speed. A raging river.
That was way too far, Noodles.
Yeah.
I understand you're frustrated. I'm sorry, I had to step away. I was listening to it on my my headset.
No, you're good.
That was a bridge too far.
Yeah, and I don't think he's done, based on context here. You are an unrelenting fiasco. You take up my time, my money, and my patience. I want to stop, but I can't. My hands tremble as my wrath prevails. I come completely unglued. I unleash the weeks of suppressed frustrations onto Pepper. I just keep putting up with your endless bullshit and mood swings, letting you run roughshod over any chance of peace in this house. Pepper doesn't care. Why would she? Stop. I can't. I've lost control. Everything comes out. Goro, Mia, Veronica's wall,
He's out of
everything.
control.
I'm an easy mark. Just another sucker who will never ever learn and always give Pepper everything she wants, right, Pepper?
I think Noodles is about to go Super Saiyan. Good Lord.
I think he is. He just needs to start with the freezer!
Are you asking about Claudio?
The fire inside rages bright.
I am that which you fear. I am a warrior born of rage. I am Giga Chad Noodles.
The fire inside rages bright as I verbally pummel Pepper. Each word hits its target head. Pepper starts to shake as my words cut her to the quick. I twist the knife. I have no idea what I did to deserve having you dumped on me. Oh god, she's crying.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. Bro, you went too far before. This is way too far. You've gone several levels beyond too far.
I go too far. Way too far.
She didn't ask for any of this.
Yeah. The tears in Pepper's eyes seem to suck all the air from the room. At once I'm back inside myself. My skin's cold and tight. I sharply inhale as if stepping into an ice bath and all the rage evaporates. Too late. The part of me that isn't a monster regains control. I open my mouth to tell her, but nothing comes out. Pepper's face squeezes like a fist in an attempt to stem the tide of tears. They come regardless. There's no doubt that her current emotions are genuine. I've never been so certain of anything. Like a sponge, she absorbed every angry word, each one tearing through her pride, her confidence, through her. Now it's her turn to lose control to the rage. Furiously, she seethes. Anger floods over her like a tidal wave. Her hate-filled eyes snap open, locking onto me, targeting me. Everything moves in slow motion. I see the exact moment where Pepper's own frustrations overwhelm her. Her body shudders, as if she was a bent stick, finally snapping under pressure. She raises her precious SinKitty above her head. I await the impact of the heavy book. I'm not even going to try and get out of the way. I deserve it. Pepper fires. At the last instant she turns, changing the trajectory of the missile. At great speed, Pepper's pride and joy, SinKitty All A Game, exclusively remastered deluxe and definitive special limited collector's edition, flies through the air. Tumbling like a drunken bird of prey, the impact rocks the heavy piece of furniture, causing several items atop to leap off and tumble to the floor. SinKitty's spine breaks. Freed pages, whole issues with her comics, are ejected out of the binding. Her most treasured possession hits the floor in many loose and damaged parts. Time stops.
Oh, jeez.
Bent, twisted, and torn, we both stare at the sad, scattered remnants of the ruined book. Neither of us have any idea what to do now. There is no way back. Pepper. She turns.
Off in the distance, you just, hear the sound of taps and just, a true warrior died today.
Oof.
ripping Pepperoni's kid.
Yeah. She turns and flees down the hall. I hate myself. Nothing I said to her is true. I mean, it is kind of, but that doesn't matter. The way I said it, I left at her like some kind of animal. I am not an animal. I should know better. I want to go to bed and pretend none of that just happened. That's when I hear the door slam.
I understand his frustration. I get it. But at the same time, though, first off, none of this is her. None of this is something that she chose. She didn't want to be here, and she has tried. Honestly, I get the sense that she is trying in her own peppery way.
Yeah.
But she has been trying to help, and it's not her fault that Noodles is. I mean, he said it already. He basically, and oh, God, this really is frustrating me because I'm like, oh my God. Just listening to him talk about the painting videos is like, oh my God, he is me for real, for real. It's like, I just encountered something. I can't do this. Wait, I can't do this. This is actually way easier than the mountain that I've made it out to be. Encounters new problem. This is impossible. I can't do this.
It's a little bit too close to home.
It's a struggle, but at the same time, though, it's not her fault that he constantly does this to himself.
Yeah.
And she's a, as I said before, I think nominative determinism is she is a very peppery person.
She is.
And, the thing with pepper is that it's a spice that is an acquired taste. I think she's actually really, really sweet in her own weird way. But, I also happen to enjoy lots of pepper in my diet. So take that as you will. So I get it. And, I get the sense that, Noodles would probably have difficulty with if you had too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. So, this is what we're dealing with. But that being said, I feel like this is a case of miscommunication, and I feel bad for them, but I guess we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents for right now.
And I'm just saying,
what do you think?
if Noodles encountered a sandwich with too much mayonnaise, first off, he would have to pause for at least 15 minutes so he could go on an internal diatribe about, the emotional complexities of the mayonnaise. And then, after he takes a bite, it would suddenly be like, oh, hey, this actually isn't so bad after all. It's actually way, way simpler than I thought. If I had just gotten over myself and, acted in the first place, this would have worked itself out fine in the first place.
Oh, God, you know what it would be? This sandwich has two pieces of bread with mayonnaise. You know what else had 2? And Mia, she had 2 whole bags.
2 whole bags, yes. Yes, I can see that.
OmOneko devs. We joke just because we love. I'm having a blast with this game. I have,
no, you think we're like 15 parts into this, and each part is shorter than an hour?
It's like I know we keep bragging on about it, but it's like it's really funny, and I feel like on a certain level. I feel like on a certain level, I need to try this on my own just so I can actually try and get the Mia ending, because I don't want to actually try you to do that. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, I have to put down my coffee for this one.
Okay, this is serious now.
I think, I don't remember if it was St. Paul who said that, you must take up your cross, and you're the struggle of each person's life. And I feel like that is the struggle that Noodles has, is that, the sin, the struggle, it's not sin, it's just the struggle of overthinking.
Yeah.
It's the weapon, it's a trap. There is a very, very funny comic that I will have to find for this that basically has that. That's the joke. And I get it. But, I get it, and I feel like, as I say, I'm seeing a lot of myself in Noodles, and it's frustrating. I'm just like, oh my God, just kiss her, you fool.
Yeah, no, I get that. It was like the overthinking.
And I'm like, oh my God,
the overthinking,
how many situations
the anxiety.
have I been in? where I've been, where, somebody else could look at me and be like, oh my God, just kiss her, you fool.
Get it together. Just do something. Stop sitting there worrying about it. Yeah, no, I get
Yes.
that. And like in relation to the two bags thing, I think that is to illustrate that Noodles is a bit neurotic, and that he has difficulty getting outside of his own head, which again, hashtag
Yes.
very relatable.
Yes. And for the record, I think that Goro is on the money on this one. Like, just like even the tiny bits of Mia that we've had, it's like she is really, really toxic, and it's
Yeah.
for the best that Noodles is not with her anymore.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah. That's when I hear the door slam. Not the door to Pepper's room, an outside door.
Oh no, this is a Knuckles oh no.
Yeah, it is. Quickly rushing down the hall, my thoughts are plagued by an emotional Pepper running out into the street. Neckos just lose it when crossing roads. The front door is locked from the inside. The back door is unlocked. Heading through the kitchen, I glance into the sunroom. Shimi's asleep, snuggled with Claudia, but Claudia is wide awake with a worried look on her face. Of course, she heard the whole thing. She points to the backyard and whispers, "Outside," repeated. Pepper. I can't find her. Pepper's not anywhere. Goro's gate into Veronica's yard is closed. I stand in the middle of the yard.
Oh dear.
I stand in the middle of the yard because I have no idea what else to do. Damn
Professor,
it. What's that?
I think we are going to get Hey Chicka Bum Bum in Veronica's empty house.
That would be extremely tasteless, but I'm just saying it's not impossible.
But a counterpoint. Pepper has no taste.
Touche. Damn it! I'm such an idiot.
For all of her, talents, all of her skills, all of her wonderful attributes, she really is very blunt and tasteless.
Yeah, no, that is 100% spot on. Why did I let myself lose control like that? I grab my head and pray.
That's a good question. Why did you?
Please, Pepper, I'm so sorry. Guilt wells up. A long overdue release of anger, anxiety, and fatigue manifests as deep sorrow that pulls at the marrow of my bones. Tears sting the corner of my eyes, and I spill over into the backyard.
Meanwhile, Big JC's like, well, I'm glad that you're finding religion, but you should probably go over to her and tell her that.
Yeah. A soft sobbing, a halting weeping, the sound that a broken heart makes. The sound isn't mine. Following the crying, I realize she is above me. Pepper! Pepper! Oh, thank God! Pepper, please come down.
You're surprised she's on the roof.
She's already proven she can do this. She ignores me. Wiping my eyes, moving closer, I can barely see her silhouetted against the night sky. She must have climbed up the flowering tree. Forcing myself to calm down and take a deep breath and try again. Pepper? No!
I am legitimately surprised she's not sulking in the tree.
I guess that kind of would have made sense too, but maybe she just liked the view better.
That's true.
I don't want you to hurt yourself. Just come down and we can talk. Away! Go!
Oh.
I have no idea what to say.
Oh, she's not going to hurt herself.
No. The Nekos are probably more agile and dexterous than humans. Just based on what he said about them so far. I have no idea what to say. I've really hurt her. Deep down, I think I always knew she was fragile. I just needed one more day. Walk over to the flowering tree, wipe away tears, and take a breath. Struggling, I managed to pull myself up to the first branch. I'm not that far off the ground, but my hands are turning white from my grip on the tree. I really do not like heights. Now that's hashtag relatable. Not to mention, I'm way out of shape for this. I don't think I'm going to be able to reach this next branch. Embarrassed, I lower myself back to the ground. A figure standing by the gate catches my eye. It's very late, and I heard yelling, "Why were you in a tree?" Sorry, Veronica, it's Pepper. She's on the roof. She's upset. I upset her. I said it. I told Veronica that I can't manage Goro's Neko. No, my Neko. Looking up at the roof, Pepper's back at the edge watching us. She's been acting strange, angry, and distracted. I'm trying to understand her. I just don't. Oh, well, I think, gosh, you see, the thing with Pepper, She bites her lip and doesn't seem to know what to do with her hands. More guilt, this time like a giant hand made of lead, presses down on me. I don't want to keep lying to Veronica. I have to come clean and tell her about the whole truth about the rat and about her wall. I feel my expression mirror Veronica's. I can't imagine what kind of confession she might have, but I can't keep mine in any longer. We speak at the same time. There's something I have to tell you. No! Pepper interrupts. She quickly crosses the roof to the flowering tree. I feel my heart stop as, hiding a sniffle, she leaps off of the roof and onto the tree. My hands instinctively and uselessly reach out to catch her should she fall, which of course she doesn't. I feel my heart beat again as she quickly climbs down and comes over to the gate. Pepper, fine, just prank. She declares defiantly and looks quickly from Veronica to me and then back to Veronica. Her smug, sassy act feels sincere despite being at great contrast to lines on her face from the recent streaks of tears. Of course, there was no prank, but clearly keeping the secret from Veronica is more important to her than the terrible things I said or how awful I made her feel. I still think eventually we'll need to come clean with Veronica. I don't know when, but at some point we should tell her. But not now. She put a lot of faith in me that I will keep this secret, and I will. I leave Veronica and Pepper to share a few words that I can't hear. Then Veronica heads back home, and Pepper comes back into the house. Pepper, fine. She cuts me off, and then heads down the hall to her room. I hear her door slowly close. Eager to get over to Veronica's, I'm awake even before my alarm goes off. Everyone else is still asleep. I head into the kitchen to kill a little more time before Veronica leaves for work. Once I finish painting that wall, I can work on repairing the damage I caused to Pepper, although I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. I do have a few ideas on where to start. Before I make breakfast, I check on Claudia and Shimi, who are also up. Good morning, girls. Hey, Claus, how's our patient doing? Great. We should check her wounds. Going by what Sawbones said, if everything is healing well, she won't need any more bandages. Not doped up with antihistamines or under the dark spell of a serious infection, the Pharaoh's mood is suspicious. Shimi is back. I smile. Her eyes bore curiously through me. I have an idea, Claudia. Why don't you take Shimi's bandages off? Claudia looks to make sure she heard me correctly. Just go slow, especially with her tail. You can do this. She trusts you. Carefully, Claudia takes the bandages off Shimi's arm first. Shimi keeps her eye on me, but she relaxes when I stay in the doorway. Shimi's arm has come a long way. She'll have scars, but I doubt that matters to her. Claudia then starts unwrapping the ball of gauze and tape from Shimi's stump. That's it. Nice and easy. The large wad of used bandages comes off, revealing the docked end of the Neko's tail. It looks remarkably clean and healthy. Both Shimi and Claudia inspect the spot where a longer tail once was. Don't let her play with the stitches, we just have to keep it clean. I turn to go make breakfast, and I'm surprised to find both Claudia and Shimi follow me. Shimi is clearly still recovering and moving slowly, but better than I would have expected. She's also not confused at all, like a certain Sawbones warned me to watch for. The way you're standing, Shimi, no one would ever know how bad your injuries were. Shimi doesn't answer. I didn't expect her to. I make breakfast, and a smiling Claudia pulls out 4 plates, forks, and milk for tea while Shimi supervises. Pepper still hasn't come out of her room. It's incredibly lucky that Veronica kept the paint she used on the wall. I mean, it's pretty generic color, but I'm still almost tempted to let myself be hopeful that it will go well today. I don't want to jinx it. I let the first coat of paint dry and excitedly get the second coat on the wall. I can't believe it. It actually looks really good. I think I did it. I was worried that I was going to have to paint the whole wall, but it blended well enough that you can't tell anything happened. I can paint a spot on a wall. Take that, rat. I feel stupid thinking it, and even stupider saying it out loud, but part of me is actually proud of myself. It all seems to have come together way too easily, but there it is, like it never happened. With all the drama, it feels a little anticlimactic. After cleaning the paint roller and returning everything to its place in the closet, I put the painting and easel back in front of the wall. Then, a quick check to make sure everything is exactly how I found it. Before I leave, I have to look one more time at the repair just to make sure I'm not dreaming. Finally, we can put this behind us. Rushing home, I have an urge to find Pepper and tell her it's done. We did it. But not yet. There is still work I need to do to make up for last night. Pepper's plate from breakfast is still on the table. It's empty, so at least she ate. Shimi is now bunking with Claudia, meaning that she's no longer occupying the hall closet. I'm still on a natural high from getting Veronica's wall project done, but it's slowly being crowded out by needing to repair another hole. The hole in my relationship with Pepper. This one I created. Noise from the bathroom that detracts me from my mission. The door is wide open. Claudia and Shimi are in the bathtub. Shimi looks like she has the tiniest hint of a smile. Claudia is beaming as she lathers shampoo into Shimi's hair. Glistening and translucent, the sheen of sudsy water on their bare skin is mesmerizing. Clean now? Yeah, I see that. Claudia giggles and returns her attention to Shimi. They both look really happy. I slide the bathroom door shut and pause to let what I just witnessed sink in. I was way wrong about the hairbrush. Can't remember what I was doing. Oh yeah, closet. There's a ton of stuff in here, things that I haven't touched in forever. Shuffling some boxes around, I unearthed the ones I've been seeking. A long rectangular box full of comics, manga, and graphic novels. Hello, old friends. Opening exposes a neatly ordered line of manga and comics that haven't seen daylight in many years, each one in its own plastic sleeve. Thought I had more. Gathered at some point, I got rid of most of these. Fortunately, I still have a few. I kept all the ones that my dad bought for me. Sandwiched between some old issues of Nyako Maids and my Vanquisher collection, I quickly find what I'm looking for. Startling Adventures number 194, the one that introduced SinKitty for the very first time. Old school Kit, back before she was reimagined as a much more violent and smutty character. This is probably worth some money. Yeah, this should do the trick. Claudia and Shimi are splashing around the tub. Claudia is giggling. Grabbing the tape, scissors, a small bit of wrapping paper from the junk drawer, I get to work. A few moments later, Startling Adventures 194, introducing SinKitty and Sidekick, is a nicely wrapped present. I used up all the wrapping paper. Too bad I didn't have a little left to make a small bow, but this is still nice. Much like Veronica's wall, I'm extremely pleased at how well this works out. Then I clear off my bedside table to make a nice clean workspace for my other project. Pepper finally appears as I start making dinner. Hi, Pepper. Did you notice that Shimi seems much better? She's following Claudia around all the time now. Mm-hmm. Pepper dismissively responds while grabbing a glass of milk. She closes the refrigerator door and heads back to her room. She's shutting me out, just like she shut Goro out. Tonight. I will fix this tonight. Throughout dinner, Claudia's focus is on Shimi as she fumbles with her spork. Pepper's attention is directly down at her plate. Not once does Pepper tease Shimi about her spork. Pepper reflexively glares at my phone when it vibrates, then returns her eyes to her food as if nothing at all had happened. That reminds me I still haven't checked any of Goro's messages, not since the first one. I've just been so preoccupied with everything else that's been going on. Pepper takes her half-eaten dinner into the kitchen and puts it into the fridge, then heads towards her room. Pepper, wait! I've got a present for you. You're getting warmer. At first, intrigued, my statement causes her to look confused. Then her eyes get big as she understands the game. Unfortunately, she doesn't get excited like I'd hoped. Still unable to resist the game and prize at the end, she takes a few steps around the room. Warmer, warmer, getting hot, hotter. Oh, you're burning up. Claudia and Shimi watch as Pepper steps next to the sofa. She moves a few of the cushions, reaches under the sofa, and picks up the wrapped present. Go ahead, open it. Removing the wrapping paper, Pepper guardedly examines the old-school SinKitty. She turns it over several times. I guess I was expecting a smile to balloon across her face, an excited panting, or maybe a grateful hug. Instead, she just contemplates what she's holding in her hand. A muddled expression clouds her gaze. I wanted to tell you that everything came out great with Veronica's wall, and I remembered that I had this. So, yeah. Pepper pages through the old-school SinKitty. She offers no strong reaction one way or the other. I know. How about after everyone finishes dinner, we have a group story time? We haven't done that in a while. Claudia seems pleased with the idea, but Shimi and Pepper reveal no hint of what they're feeling. After Claudia cleans up the kitchen, we all settle in for story time. Oh, we have to come up with a voice now, Itaku. What are we going to do for old-school SinKitty? Now, Kitaku vanished into the ether again. I hate it when that happens. What's wrong, Kick? That thunderstorm is catastrophic. When you're feline bad, keep a good catitude and stay positive. Oh, you're hysterical. SinKitty and Sidekick. They're always kidding around. Pepper gives a long, disappointed sigh and an expression that she smelled something awful. The excitement drains from the room quickly. She looks at me for a long moment, then quietly says, "Thanks." The whole next morning, I hid in my bedroom working on my other project. It finally dawns on me why my plan with the old school SinKitty comic fell flat last night. She hated the classic SinKitty, a reaction that was the complete opposite of what I expected. I couldn't figure out why. It's a valuable comic. I didn't think like Pepper thinks. Valuable for someone who uses money and understands that others who use money would pay a lot of that money for it. Sure. I grew up knowing the goofy version of Kit the SinKitty, not Pepper. She's only known SinKitty as a psychotic kicker of ass. So yeah, for Pepper, it was pretty insulting to see her raunchy and violent hero portrayed as a lame and cheesy cartoon. Took all morning replaying the events. Nope.
I'm sorry. I had to step away in order to do my laundry. It seems like we're finally seeing the 1987, version of SinKitty.
Yeah, we're seeing the Saturday morning cartoon version with all the terrible Captain Planet tier puns involved. It took all morning replaying the events of the past few days to figure that out. My plan with the comic failed, but I'm not ready to quit. Could be guilt, could be something else entirely, but I'm dedicated to this and to Pepper. I hate seeing her so.
You know what I'm kind of imagining now?
What's that?
This is where my parents died, Raphael. Cowabubber.
Yeah.
Kind of imagining this is where my parents died. They're cowabubber.
That works way too well, actually. I hate seeing her so dejected, so numbed, like she's given up. I know that I won't rest till I see that spark return, that pepper-flavored fire rage in her eyes. Also, if I quit on her now, it'd be the same as Goro abandoning her. I'm going out for a while. I announced to the house and turned the TV on to the Nature Channel. I'm ready to leave, shopping list in hand, when, again? Why do I keep doing this? There's something wrong with me. Where the hell did I leave my phone? Before I even start looking for it, I feel myself getting angry. It's like I'm on the edge of losing my mind. I'm afraid that if I look for it and if I don't find it... Screw it. I'll find it later. Glue it to my head. Being away from home without my phone is a weird feeling. Liberating in a way. At the same time, a sensation of being exposed and vulnerable. Just used to having it on me whenever I'm out. Yo, Veronica told me you helped her with a rat. What? Oh, she did? I pushed the entire fixing the wall episode out of my head, focusing instead on fixing the Pepper. Lynn mentioning it makes it all flood back. Wonder what exactly Veronica said to him, and when. Totally freaked her out. She wanted to come crash at my place because of it, but you know how it is. I still live with my parents, and they're not big on stuff like that. Are you and Veronica a couple again? She thinks so. We have our fun, but having a girlfriend is work, and I already have a job. Lynn laughs. I don't. Awkward silence lingers. Lynn finally waves it away.
Have you ever been in a situation where it feels like you're in a desert, dying of thirst, and you see other people complaining that they have too much water?
Oof. This episode is
Veronica is wasted on a man such as you, Lynn. Count up your sins.
Oh, suddenly Ditaku is Kamen Rider's skull. That's pretty metal. An awkward silence lingers. Lynn finally waves it away as if it were an annoying fly. Yeah, the whole thing with the rat had her pretty shaken. I can't do that today. I'm super congested because the weather here in Snekburg is changing and it sucks. She was going to stay with her dad for a couple of days too, but your Neko convinced her to stay at home. My Neko did that? Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, wish I could have seen your freakishly tall blonde Neko with the big boobs hunting rats. Must be in the blood. You know what they say, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Hiding the fact that I really want the Lynn to shut the hell up, I changed the subject. Hey, the store can order books, right? Books? Yeah, if you like books. Lynn replies like it was bad-tasting medicine. He grabs the store's laptop and asks me what book I'm looking for. I tell him, and he laughs. Why is that funny? You just don't seem like the SinKitty type. Not wanting to know what type Lynn sees me as, I just smile and give a shrug. With 2 fingers, Lynn types on the laptop. SinKitty, all a game, exclusive. Discontinued. Well, shit. But wait, there's more. Lynn slowly and sloppily types something onto his computer. Seems there's one over at the university bookshop. Some college boy tried to sell it to buy weed. This thing says it's a near mint condition. That's geek talk for someone thinks it's valuable. Valuable. Yeah, guess someone
Near
does.
mint condition means it's almost like new.
Yeah.
Probably has like dog ears or something, or
Yeah.
certain pages are. Well, let's not go into that.
No, let us not. Lynn puts a hold on the book, and I head over to the bus stop to make my way to the university. You're freakishly tall blonde Neko. Veronica told Lynn about the rat, but she didn't tell him about Pepper, or Shimi. I'm sure of it. If Lynn knew that I had other Nekos besides Claudia, I would never hear the end of it. Thank you for that, Veronica. Pepper told Veronica to stay at home. That's when Pepper went out front, right before Gora messaged me. I thought I realized I'm talking to myself like a crazy person, and people are noticing. It's called Seeking Expert Advice. She was quickly learning the best way to...
Honestly, talking to yourself, not the weirdest thing.
Nope.
It's when you start having a conversation with yourself about who stole your chicken sandwich that you should really, start to go, oh God, what am I doing? But if you're just like, okay, so what do I got to do? I got to get, eggs, bread, milk. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that I consider that downright normal. So like, I don't think. I think it's just Noodles getting lost in his head again, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was quickly learning the best way to ensure you never got where you're going with any sort of speed would be to use a bus. She was also learning that nobody who rode a bus was particularly interested in being where they needed to be with any sort of speed, so it worked out. Wish I had my phone. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. 2 bus rides, a chunk of my monthly disbursement, and half a day later, I'm headed back home with a bag full of groceries and a near-mint hardcover copy of SinKitty All a Game, exclusively remastered deluxe and definitive special limited collector's edition. I'll get it wrapped up and put it somewhere Pepper will find it, like under the pillow in her room. I should feel great right now, eagerly anticipating giving the present to Pepper. Instead, heavy worries worm around, boring holes through my optimism. What if, even after I give her this, she still wants nothing to do with me? The book suddenly feels as if it were made of granite. I nearly drop everything I'm carrying. There, on the small table in the foyer, is my phone. How is this happening? Claudia isn't moving my phone. When she does her chores, she just cleans around it. Besides, she has no interest in it, unless Mom's on the other end. Shimi isn't doing it. If she was, I'd find it in her stash. The obvious culprit is Pepper, moving and hiding it just to mess with me, but since I said those awful things, Pepper's been avoiding all interaction with me. She even stopped doing that thing where she leaves the refrigerator door open. So if none of the Nekos are moving it, it has to be me. I gingerly pick up my phone as if it was radioactive. Could the phone be alive? Yes, that's not crazy at all. When I'm not looking, it grows legs and goes on many adventures, fights crime, even has its own secret family across town. I slogged down the hall towards my room, my rational mind scrambled and lost in a bizarre mystery of why I can't keep track of my stupid phone. Maybe if I stare at it long enough, I'll figure it out. So distracted that I almost forgot that I have groceries that need to go to the kitchen. Just then, Pepper steps out of the bathroom. Wide-eyed, she jumps at seeing me, as if I was still the monster, the king of the rats that caught her unawares. She looks clean. Her hair's wet. She showered. Pepper can't turn on the shower. Does Pepper hate me so much that she's asking Claudia for help instead of me? She breaks eye contact and looks down at my hands. Without warning, Pepper rushes at me. Pepper snatches SinKitty All the Game exclusively remastered deluxe and definitive special limited collector's edition right out of my hand. I had to juggle to keep from dropping the groceries. I had hoped to give it to her with more fanfare, but Pepper doesn't seem to mind. I watch for a long time. She holds a leather-bound tome, staring at it as if it were her own long-lost kitten. She cracks open the book and tenderly runs her fingers over its crisp, unblemished pages. Neither of us makes a sound. Finally, she breaks her focus from the book. Pepper locks me in her steel gaze. Traces of uncertainty fill the space between us, and also a small, shy smile. I offer Pepper my own apologetic smile. I wanted to get you a better present, something I knew you'd like. Thanks. Her reply is quick and quiet. The sentiment sincere. Brings a warmth that eases through my neck and back, hugging around my ribs and making a home in my belly. Seeing her happy again is an unbelievable relief. I didn't realize how much I actually like having this little pain in the ass around me until she wasn't. Neither of us can think of anything to say, so we don't. We awkwardly but happily stand in the hallway, enjoying the moment as she hugs her book. The long silence and longer stares start to embarrass us both. Pepper gives a small snicker to relieve the tension. I better put the stuff in the kitchen. Pepper nods and quickly heads to her room. I watch her go and make my way to the kitchen. At the last moment, I turn back and catch Pepper at the doorway watching me. She blushes at having been caught and quickly steps into her room. A big, dumb grin is plastered across my face. It's as if for the past few days I've been carrying a backpack filled with iron cannonballs and I've finally taken it off. I'm happy she liked the book, but we're not done. I need to do a better job with her. She still hasn't even unpacked her suitcase. Sometimes people disagree and have conflicts. That's natural. Hell, Mia and I have disagreements all the time. Now, Mia may not be a good example of a healthy relationship. Point is, I need to make sure that I never hurt Pepper like that again. She isn't a goldfish. She's a Neko with a strong personality. My Neko, just as much as Claudia is mine. The last of the groceries put away, my adventurous and/or haunted phone back in its place in the foyer table, and a cup of wild blueberry and chamomile tea in my hand, I gaze outside to enjoy the sunny afternoon. Claudia's in the backyard. She's just sitting on the ground. Occasionally, Claudia plucks a piece of grass from the lawn beside her. She slowly breaks it apart, then plucks another one. Outside, I set myself next to her on the grass. Still looking away, Claudia presents a small, brief, joyless smile. She plucks another piece of grass. Hey, Claus, you all right? Pepper's being a pest. I want you to know that. She shakes her head and looks in the direction of the woods beyond Veronica's yard. I pluck a piece of grass and hand it to her. Claudia takes the pieces of grass from me and gently breaks it apart, but doesn't say anything. Pepper Takes me a moment to register Pepper's appearance. She has her new book. Seeing us, she pauses. Pepper's brow furrows. She looks back to the house, and then her eyes return to Claudia. Hey, sashimi gone? It takes another moment for me to understand the weight of Pepper's question. Instinctively, I look at Goro's gate that leads into Veronica's yard in the woods beyond. With a numbed, emotional finality, Claudia softly responds, Yeah. Shimi gone. Before I can finish processing that, Shimi is gone. Just like that, gone. All we went through for her, and now, poof, gone. Veronica comes outside to gather her laundry from the clothesline. She smiles a greeting over the gate that immediately evaporates as she picks up on the dark mood that lays heavily over the backyard. Is everything all right? No, it's not all right, but we were close. A moment ago, Pepper and I started to mend our relationship. There's a great moment in the hallway, and now I know she's reaching out to me to keep going in her oblique pepper-flavored way. But the last time Claudia looked like this was the day Mom moved away, when Mia and I moved in. Claudia shouldn't be alone, although she doesn't look like she's in the mood for company. Let me save. As we will at all crossroads, as is my wont. See, the game dev has already warned me about believing erroneously that choices don't matter at any point. So now I'm a little extra paranoid now that we're here. I kind of feel like we should stay with her and maybe see if we can get her to talk about it. What say you?
Yeah, I feel like we need to say it with Claudia.
Sitting quietly on the sofa, Claudia's thoughts are clearly lost in the untouched cup of tea which he cradles in both hands. I offer what little comfort I can, but there isn't really anything I can say that hasn't already been said. Wildcat, she thinly states again. The word, like the ending punctuation of a long sentence, offers no comfort. It is what it is. Shimi, the amazing disappearing Neko, has vanished in a puff of smoke, and things just are what they are. I gently pet her tail. It's obvious that she quickly became attached to Shimi and enjoyed being in her company. Shimi suddenly leaving shattered that connection. But right now, Claudia is doing a surprisingly good job of hiding all of it. If I didn't know how broken she must feel inside, I'd just think she was tired. Poor Claudia. Pepper partially joins us, lingering indecisively in the doorway. Her eyes are on me and Claudia, but her gaze is far away. Pepper's eyes narrow. A troubled brow tells me that her brain is working to find a solution to fix Claudia. I just don't think... In a flash, Pepper's face lights up, and she heads down the hallway towards her room. Claudia's focus remains in the deep waters of her untouched cup of tea. Almost immediately, Pepper returns with a big book and an even bigger grin. The book looks more like the kind that Pepper should own. Its glossy, heavy-duty cover and its large yet thin size screams, children's book. Pepper hands me the book and runs out of the room again. Cat and a Rat. I know this book. Everyone does. It's one of those books that every kid gets at some point. The go-to bedtime story. Mom read me mine till the cover fell off. Opening the book is like being punched in the face. The inside is printed, "This book belongs to blank," as expected in a children's book. What isn't expected is the very crudely written Pepper, filling the space as the book's owner. The letters are large and wild against the line in printed text, but I can't think that their maker was any other than the Neko that just ran back into the room carrying a blanket. Pepper climbs between us, forcing me to slide over to make room. Did you write your name here? Seeing the question as a rebuke, she stops spreading the blanket over us and glares at me. Her eyes narrow and she defensively fires back. Pepper book. No, I'm not chastising you for writing in a book. I'm actually impressed you can write your name. Her abrasiveness morphs to embarrassment. She mumbles something I can't make out. I run my fingers over the page. Pepper. She wrote that. Seriously, I'm really impressed. Even though it's chicken scratch, and I imagine her with her tongue sticking out while it took several minutes to practice scrawling the 6 letters on some scrap paper before finally committing the act to page. She's a freaking Neko that can write her name. Damn, Goro, how did you manage this? Or is this just Pepper? Something in her character? Claudia can't write her name. I also don't think Mom ever even considered trying to teach her. And we're lucky that Shimi even knew what a name is. You did a nice job, Pepper. Red from embarrassment, Pepper looks away, hiding both her smile and the obvious pride she feels. Without making eye contact, she takes back the book. You don't want me to read it? Pepper book, Pepper story time Claudia. Pepper's matter of fact as she places the book into Claudia's lap. Claudia puts her tea down and looks at the pictures. The feeling that Pepper is still not ready to let me back into her world is a bad guess. Turns out Pepper has other plans. She turns the page to start the story and then... Come, said Mom. I feel my mouth drop open and my eyes go wide. It's when 100% of my attention fixes onto Pepper. What is happening? This can't be real. Time to eat, so take a seat. I think I'm having a stroke. Pepper smiles at Claudia. I feel my eyes try to blink, but I think they're sticking too far out of my head for the eyelids to fit over them. You kidding me? Pepper can read? Pepper pantomimes taking a bite from the drawing of food in the book. She makes a yummy sound. Then she gestures as if offering Claudia the food as well. Claudia plays along, taking a tiny bite of pretend food from Pepper's pretend spork. When Pepper offers the food to me, she pulls it away at the last moment. Her face gets stern. Nope, first magic word. Focus, focus? Pepper's expression flattens. Oh, please? Having said the magic word and correctly playing the game, Pepper's expression softens. She grins again, offering me my bite of the pretend food. Nom nom nom, delicious. Pepper's teasing makes Claudia giggle. Successfully having distracted her, Pepper smiles and returns to the story. But rat is in the food. Oh no, that rat must go. Pepper glares hard at the drawing of the rat on the table. Get him, Pepper! She yells and punches the book. Unexpected violence causes me to jump. A book and glare from Pepper. I can't help but laugh. Pepper can read! Claudia smiles again, enjoying the performance and silliness that Pepper brings this bizarre version of story time. As Pepper continues her animated narration of the story of this cartoon Neko family that catches and makes a great meal of the pesky rat, I sit riveted, captivated by her every word. How is this possible? Why did Goro hide this? Why didn't he tell me this about Pepper? Not that I'd have believed him. I don't think I've ever underestimated anything, ever, as much as I've underestimated Pepper. This is very cool. In fact, if there wasn't such a social stigma over having a Neko, Pepper could probably be famous. A Neko that can read. She'd be on the news, have guest appearances on variety shows. She'd be a regular celebrity. Unfortunately, there's just so much baggage that comes with having a domestic Neko. The deep-rooted assumptions that everyone automatically has about you. Still, it doesn't change the facts. She can read, and she can write her own name. It's amazing. The worst part is, I have no one that I can share this with. Goro either knows or doesn't, but regardless, I can't call him and talk about it. I mean, I could send Goro a message. Hey buddy, I'm just sitting here while Pepper reads a freaking book to me and Claudia. You'd think I was drunk, or had hit my head really hard, or both. Mom doesn't even know that Pepper lives here, and I know it's better that way, at least for now. Just can't imagine that conversation going well. Maybe Veronica? But honestly, I'm worried that this is crazy enough that she ended up mentioning it to someone. So, like witnessing a strange occurrence in nature, I watch Pepper read to Claudia just to cheer her up. Pepper finishes the story and slams the book shut with a flourish. Claudia, somber but sincere, smiles appreciatively. Thanks. Good kitty, Pepper. Pepper beams with pride, affectionately pats Claudia's head. Yep. Pepper, awesome good kitty. Pepper's story time is a nice break, but the levity doesn't last. Soon the gloom overcomes Claudia again. While I do my best to keep Claudia busy and distracted, Pepper takes a nap. I had no illusion that Shimi would return to the wild eventually. On reflection, I guess that became less of a certainty when she and Claudia started getting close. But Shimi just had her tail chopped off. It seemed to me that she really didn't have enough recovery time. Then again, she's a Neko, and a feral at that. I guess once again I'm thinking about this like I'm a human. Wildcat. Not a person. Not yet. And now, not ever. Poor Claudia. As always, Claudia does a good job with her chores, and an even better job acting like everything's fine. Again, if I didn't know that Claudia was upset, I'd just think she was tired, or maybe had a headache. Periodically, though, really paying attention, I can tell when her thoughts drift far away and dwell on Shimi. From time to time, I catch her staring out the window, part of her lost in an empty place, feeling far away, longing. My own thoughts return to Pepper, my other abandoned Neko. Pepper really amazed me earlier. She cheered up Claudia, at least for a little while. She definitely earned herself a chores reward. Oh no! Oh crap! I slapped myself on the forehead. Idiot! Me, it's nothing. Claudia blinks doubtfully. She's right. It's not nothing. It's a something, a big something. I totally forgot I promised Pepper a special reward. And I still don't know what that is. Whatever it is, it's worth...
Oh my.
Whatever it is, it's worth 3 chores rewards. Throughout dinner, Pepper keeps looking back and forth at me and Claudia. I still can't get over that I totally spaced out on the special reward. The more I think about it, the worse I feel. In fact, after I agreed to the special reward and she worked hard cleaning Veronica's house, I ended up spending very little time with Pepper over the days that followed. Kept sending her away so I could focus on fixing Veronica's wall, and that ended with a broken book and her on the roof. Needing to reintroduce the special reward thing as dinner finishes, I suggest we should play a game tonight. Who's up for Star Checkers? Nah, thanks. Claudia feigns a smile and declines. Then she starts to clean up the kitchen. I've been gently pestering Claudia all day, undemandingly keeping her company and letting her know she's not alone. Not pressing her in any way, just there for her, in case she wanted to talk or needed a hug. I was hoping to work her into Pepper's special reward thing tonight. Maybe a little alone time will be good for her. I'll check on her before I go to bed. I turn to Pepper and catch her looking at me in that introspective way again. She instantly looks away. Pepper seems to have as much on her mind as I do. Hey, that was a really nice thing you did, giving Claudia a story time, reading to her. Yeah, duh, Pepper, awesome, Neko. Pepper scrunches her face, further avoiding eye contact. I want to probe more about it. Ask her, how long have you been able to read? Did Goro teach you? I don't. Unlike Claudia, Pepper's not good with compliments. Tell Pepper great catch in a game of bounce and she'll reply, duh, Pepper knows. Tell her you're proud of her and it makes her uncomfortable for some reason. An awkward silence fills the space between us. The trust feels fragile, burdened with some underlying worry. We got over most of the mountainous hurdle from earlier, and yet it feels like there's still some hesitation or unresolved conflict. I really don't want to do anything to push her away again, so I don't press her on the reading or writing. But I do want to keep rebuilding the connection, so after a long moment of indecisiveness... What's that?
Are we doing river?
What's that? I think you're cutting out. I do want to keep rebuilding the connection, so after a long moment of indecisiveness, I casually drop, hey, maybe we could get you that special reward thing. Subtlety is not my strongest attribute. Looking like she's...
You know, having... Once again, this is one of those things where, like, if this was our first playthrough, I can... it would be kind of a shock, kind of the way it was when we did Shimi.
Right.
But, like, having done 2 out of the 3...
we kind of know where we're headed, so...
Yeah, and the fact that she, like, the usually feisty and boisterous, gregarious Pepper is, like, getting really coy and very shy. It's almost certain what she wants.
Yeah. Looking like she's sat on a tack, Pepper's eyes lock onto mine. She opens her mouth and then closes it when nothing comes out. Then finally, Pepper, special reward. At the worst possible moment, my phone vibrates. Damn it! Pepper's head snaps towards the foyer table with my phone. She takes a deep breath, holds it, and slowly lets it out. When she turns back to me, all the hesitation and introspection's gone. Smirking, she is the Pepper of old, sassy, pompous, and indignant, ready to cause mischief and irritation. She looks at me like I couldn't possibly have said anything stupider if I had been eating lead paint all day. Ha! Special reward, dumb idea. Before I can register or react to the personality change, Pepper gets up and skips down the hall. Wait, you want to play Star Checkers or something? Nope. She doesn't break stride. Pepper disappears down the hallway. I hear her door slide shut.
There's another game I wish to play. It's called Doctor.
House. When I check on Claudia, she's already asleep. Whatever I'm doing for the next few days, I shouldn't...
House too soon.
Whatever I'm doing for the next few days, I should involve her so she doesn't feel so alone. She was there for me when Mia walked out. Opening the drawer on the bedside table and taking out the tape and glue, I realized that working on my other project has become an escape of sorts. I'm able to zone out, allowing my brain to unwind and wander where it will as I organize, find the right next part, and then work the glue and tape to fix the pages in place. Progress is slow, and I'm in no way doing a perfect job, but it's something I feel a compelling need to complete. The strange part about it is that I've never been good at strategy games, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, or anything else that tries to pass off strategic thinking as fun. They just seemed pointless. Mom is the same way. She'd say, puzzles are problems created on purpose. So it's surprising that I'm enjoying this project. What's not surprising is that when presented with a puzzle like Pepper, I'm not great at figuring out what to do. What is a special reward? Something worth 3 chores rewards. Beyond that, I have no clue. Since Pepper has decided that it's a dumb idea, now I may never know. Even if I'm not good at puzzles, I do know what directly asking her won't work. She'll just box up even tighter. Hey!
Interesting choice of words.
Pepper's in the doorway. I just held my project under a pillow, using my body to shield the act before she can see what I'm working on. Hey, Pepper. Pepper's manner is complex. She looks like she could either be about to ask the most important question of her life or make fun of my hairstyle. Doing neither, she instead simply rolls her eyes and vainly announces, Pepper bored. Story time? Duh, yeah, story time. Pepper seems subdued. She hands me her new SinKitty, all a game, exclusively remastered, deluxe, definitive, special limited collector's edition. She then trots back to the doorway. I switch the lamp next to the bed on, in perfect timing of Pepper switching the ceiling light off. It's been forever since I read anything. In the course of weeks, you've gotten me to read 3 books. Well, 1 book, a comic, and a manga, but still. She dismisses my comment, instead focusing on stealing more than her fair share of covers. Pepper punches the pillow.
All right, I'm going to be real with you.
What's that?
I'm going to be real with you there, Noodles. Manga is just comic books. It's
Japanese
all comic
style
books, okay?
comic books, yeah.
Yes. It doesn't matter whether or not you're reading, for better or for worse, if you're reading a bande dessinée like Blueberry or Mobius, Mobius did write Blueberry. If you're reading a bande dessinée or if you're reading, Astro Boy, they're all comics, all right?
Yep.
Just because they have different names depending on, where they're from. It's the entire thing with anime, too. It's like, it's just a cartoon.
Yes.
Okay?
It's animation. In fact, Astro Boy owes more than a small share of its inspiration to DuckTales comics.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the reason why, if you actually look at old, for instance, take a look at Bambi, and take a look at Astro Boy, or even, Cyborg 009, and you're like, these sure do look very similar. That's because they came from it's the same artistic movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's all connected. It's all the same thing there, Doodles.
It's all connected on this cork board.
And
I have a bunch of pins in.
We're all going back to Tiamat now, boys.
It all links back to Mama Tiamat, yes.
Mama Tiamat in order to fight the evil birdman. You guys haven't seen that episode yet. That's coming.
You will. Pepper punches the pillow she's resting on. She shifts around, getting comfortable. I have an idea. Maybe I could get a story time. Would you read a chapter to me? Pepper hesitates. She considers it for a moment. Nah, you story time, Pepper. Oh well, worth a try. Gently opening the new SinKitty, a soft crackling of the book's spine hits my ears. The scent of new paper fills my nose.
What lugubriousness mean?
Its fresh pages momentarily cling to each other in an almost reluctance to turning pages. Pepper reaches over and quickly finds where we left off.
That is a trouble with new comics. They
do tend to stick.
Yeah.
All right, Ditaku. You know you want to.
Okay, sorry. All right. So just so if you're wondering, if you're like me, and you're like, what is lugubrious? It means to sound sad or dismal. It is basically basic. It's a one-word definition of the way that Jimmy sounds. So
yes.
This is SinKitty, all a game, narrated by everyone's favorite character, Ornithopter Man. Another quiet night in the city. Everyone's inside, staying dry, being safe, hoping that the storm won't do any damage. Shelter is one of the basic things everyone needs, or so I've been told. Keeps the rain out. The chaos of the outside world, blocked by glass and concrete. Although no one ever seems to consider that sometimes crack defenestrate.
That's such a Teen Girl Squad thing. Defenestrated! That means to be thrown out of a window.
such a good verb.
It really is.
SinKitty, it storms inside. Are we saying that she is the storm that is approaching? The thrill fades too quickly. I'm already jonesing for another fix. Throwing someone through a window?
I guess.
Miss. Gonna skin ya, cat. No one messes with the dirty rats. Did you just defenestrate Lou?
Wow, they have really high verbal scores. Good job there.
Yeah, these rats are pretty well read.
4-on-1. Is it my birthday?
Pepper stops me. Her face is scrunched up, betraying a sudden dissatisfaction. It's abrupt. Just seconds before, she seemed to be hanging on every word. What defenestrate? Oh, see, Pepper's asking the real questions in life. Him?
No, she didn't say defenestrate. She said defenestrate.
Defenestrate. What defenestrate
Yes.
mean? Oh, defenestrate. Well, it's a fancy word that means to throw something or someone out of a window. Yep, there's a word for that. Now she have to look it up on my phone to make sure I get the definition right. Pepper nods along as I explain the context while using the part of the story to help with the definition. See, right here...
It actually comes from German. It's, I want to say... either Airfenster or Defenster, which is the window. So
Right.
I want to say during the 1500s, there was a very famous situation where a theologian, was thrown through a window in Prague, and so it became known as the Defenestration of Prague, and everyone remembers it because of that. They literally made a word for it out of that.
Language is fun, kids. See,
Isn't it, though?
right here, when Sin grabs the dirty rat bad guy, crack.
Some people, fighting's all about physicality. I would be lying if I said it wasn't a big part of that for me, too.
Ah, you see. Oh, okay, so we're learning something about Kit's build here. It seems that she's more of a wits character than a, just pure power build. Interesting.
Right.
But there's more to it than that. It's more about how you approach your partner or opponents. It's about how you... it's about role-playing them.
Obviously.
When you're faster. When they fall for all your feints.
Crack.
Again. When you see them commit and you counter. When you dominate. Well, it's more satisfying than Hey Chicka Bum Bum. Excellent Hey Chicka Bum Bum. This is family friendly. Which is not to say some days I think I'd prefer the Hey Chicka Bum Bum. Girl, what's a fight without a little elation?
Oh my.
Sometimes a fate is like a flirt. Pulled like a hug.
Please tell me that she throws him through a window.
I hope so.
I'm the cat.
Crack. Oh, okay, that's okay too.
Yeah, that
I
works.
guess I just like it rough.
What titillation? Pepper interrupts the story again. She intently listens to me awkwardly to find yet another word for her. Titillation. It's a naughty word, but not really. It means something that's exciting, but exciting in an adult way. She's really thrown me a curveball again. Every time I read a word that she doesn't understand or doesn't get the context of how it's being used, instead of simply ignoring it and letting the story continue, Pepper demands to know what it means. It reminds me how she stood up to the storm.
No. See, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. She
Yes.
is trying to learn things on her own. She, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Pepper, feisty little Pepper, is an autodidact. And that is the most cute and wonderful thing that has come out of this sprout.
Yes, I agree. It reminds me that she stood up to the storm. She just can't ignore a challenge. Strangely, I can't imagine this is the first time she's had this read to her, so I have to wonder why she didn't ask Goro what the words meant. Is she that comfortable with me? It seems like a pretty big deal for her to reveal something like that to someone. So much about Pepper
You know,
that she
it could be,
hides.
could also be stubborn spite. I mean,
There's that.
not for nothing. There's a certain Snek you might have been aware of. A certain guy, a little guy. He's a little guy. He's a little dude, little bro. He had a situation where he encountered a video and he got so mad that he started making counter videos basically to prove a point. And he's I think he's still doing it to this day. Some say legends speak of it.
We think he's still around, probably, in all likelihood.
Yeah, somewhere. Yep.
There's so much about Pepper that she hides beneath her abrasive exterior. She loves books. She attacks the challenges of reading and writing, which itself is mind-boggling, since the Neko's first language isn't a language at all. Nekos have their own form of communication, mainly some kind of pheromone marking I read about somewhere, but we don't really know the scope or depth of it. There's no money to be made off of it, so no one cares, and since the domestic ones are capable and willing to use human speech...
Are you kidding? Are you kidding that say that there wouldn't be like a Bear Grylls like Neko whisperer out there that would like try and use body language and pheromones in order to try and communicate and potentially domesticate ferals? I think that there would be huge money in that, especially considering how destructive ferals are supposed to be.
Yeah, if they could basically find a way to properly communicate with ferals, at least convey the idea of, hey, humans are not your enemies, don't attack them, that itself could be worth an enormous number of government grants and research.
Heck, I'm just saying, if I was in this world, I absolutely would try and be a Neko whisperer.
You'd become a necologist?
I'm just saying I would, okay, think about it this way. Live out in the woods, make your own way. You're helping the people. You get to hang out with cat girls.
Seems like a good life.
I'm shrugging. You can't see it, but I'm shrugging,
Yeah, I get it. Pepper learning to read and write, her inquisitiveness, this desire to learn, it's so at odds with her immature and blunt nature. On top of that, it feels so contradictory for a Neko. It would be like if I was obsessed with learning to read Braille with my toes, or figuring out how to eat and brush my teeth with my feet. I can see, and I have hands, so there's nothing beneficial about having those skills. Maybe that's a bad example. Definitely a weird mental image.
I have heard of people doing that.
Yep.
It takes some doing, but it's possible.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, Braille, I know Braille. Braille is difficult, even at the best of days. And it's even worse when you start looking into it and you're like, there's actually Anglosphere Braille, and then there's actually French Braille, and it's completely different. They use similar systems.
There's a French version.
I hate to tell you this, Professor. Louis Braille.
No, I know.
The guy who invented it, he was French.
I know, I'm kidding. I have to poke fun.
I know, it's shocking. I know, it's shocking. I hate to tell you, unlike Belgium, France is actually a real place.
Don't lie to me. Do not speak untruths you know to be untruths.
Are we saying France is make-believe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Obviously. She catches me.
Meanwhile, Maddie D is going to be like, what? What are you guys talking about?
She catches me smiling at her. Yes, that's because Noodles was contemplating that, continental Europe is a figment of his imagination. That's why he's smiling.
I don't believe that Europe is real.
Europe
I feel like
is
these guys are just
real.
making stuff up.
That's
the reason why you're
fake.
always making up. You're always making up new words. You're like, it's not an air conditioner. It's a cold breeze flowy-goey.
You cannot look at the Welsh language and expect me to believe that that's a real thing.
Oh, yes. Welsh. It's when they decide that vowel, they look at Scrabble and they're like, oh, do you want any vowels? No, thanks.
Nah, I'm good. I haven't been reading
Try
this
reading
whole
them.
time.
Try reading the Mabinogion. It's like, yes, it's Cleriquo van, wow, Bridwin. It's like, I think there was like 3 vowels in that entire name.
Gesundheit.
Yes.
What means hand job? I,
Excuse me.
I gasp and nearly swallow my tongue. It takes several moments for me to stop coughing and catch my breath. Once recovered, I quickly sidestep her question with one of my own. Hey, a while ago you asked, what does kinky mean? Why would you ask me that? Pepper thinks for a moment. Goro. Goro is kinky? I already know that Goro's a big-time man whore, but I'm curious to see what Pepper says. Besides, I really want to keep making distance between myself and that question.
I mean, Noodles, you're torpedoing yourself, my friend. You could have just like
you avoided losing your ring finger only to go and chop off the middle one. Like, you're just setting yourself up for failure either way. Goro brings home girls. One girl, Goro say, she freaky dinky, super kinky. Pepper wants to know what means kinky. She gazes at me quizzically, as opposed to viewing you as if she was giving you a test.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Even though she's Goro's. You know what this proves, though?
That Goro probably never made a pass at OmOneko before?
Well, of that, and also remember in Shimi's route when he came back and he mentioned that he never actually thought of, Pepper that way.
Right.
He's saying that he's telling the truth clearly.
Yeah, this does kind of verify that.
Pepper is a cinnamon roll, and she is not corrupted by Goro's bad influence. Well, mostly.
Not in that particular regard, right? I take a deep breath and delicately try to satisfy Pepper's curiosity. Kinky, it's a naughty word, but not really. It means... Pepper fidgets, twists, and turns, unable to get comfortable for some reason. She punches the pillow and then reaches under it and pulls out my other project. Both of us freeze. Pepper narrows her eyes as she works to understand why she's holding her old broken SinKitty book, the one that left a dent in my dresser when it exploded against it, the one I've been putting back together with tape and glue. A tinge of worry surfaces. There are some ugly memories attached to it. I'm not done. I've only glued about half of the pages back. She looks at the new SinKitty book in my hands, then she studies the old broken one she holds. Careful not to let any of the loose parts spill out, she runs her hand lightly along the pages, some of which are newly glued back to the spine of the book. Her fingers pause on the tape-mended torn page between Kit and Kick laughing together. Pepper stares at it for a long time without moving. When she finally speaks, her voice is quiet, stilted. Why? My confused expression prompts her to reframe the question. Why fix old book? Well, I felt responsible for it being broken. Pepper scrunches her nose at my answer, wholly unsatisfying to her. Since the book gives no additional clues, she digs deeper. Pepper, have new book. I smile at her. Yeah, I know, I got it for you, Pepper. I got it for you. Why? Why did I replace the broken book with a new one? No, why keep broke, SinKitty? Why fix? She's looking at me in a way that I haven't seen from her, soft and curious. None of the usual Pepper pomp or assumptions. I point to the new.
I gotta say, I'm noticing, Noodles' hand right there. Noodles has very girly hands.
Yeah, he kind of does. Yes,
I know that everyone has the very ikemen, very lean.
Right.
But I mean, come on, you should have man hands.
Should clip his fingernails at the very least.
Yeah, that too.
She's looking at me in a way I haven't seen from her, soft and curious, with none of the usual Pepper pomp or assumptions. I point at the crisp new SinKitty book. Well, this new one is for you to replace the broken one. This old one I want to keep for me. Pepper waits, still not certain she understands, as if she's looking for a hidden meaning behind it. I guess she's right, because there is one. I want to fix it and keep it to remind me to never let my frustrations make me say things that I don't mean, things that I'll later regret saying. Pepper's eyes are on the broken SinKitty book, but her gaze seems far away. Her ears lock on me as I explain. I want to always have it to remind me that just because someone's a Neko, I should still treat them as like an equal, especially if I expect them to act like an equal. Pepper's mouth curls into a shy smile.
Damn.
She likes what
Damn,
she's
boys.
hearing, but I'm not done.
Damn, boys. Damn. He's learning. This is dangerous.
Yep. Well, because even broken, it belonged to Pepper, my Neko.
Oh, he said the thing.
She gets still, giving her full attention to my words. And I think that Pepper really is an awesome Neko. Even if she can be a royal pain in the ass at times, I know that I'm lucky to have her. Pepper blushes
Aw.
hard as I admit to her that she is important, very important to me. She seems to experience a spectrum of emotions all hitting her at the same time, but mostly a kind of happiness that's totally alien to her, a happiness that doesn't come from pranks or teasing or athletic prowess. I have to admit that I'm enjoying watching her wrestle with the strange emotions. Not in a mean way, it's just really cute seeing her sensitive side emerge, especially because she has absolutely no idea how to deal with it. Pepper puts the half-repaired SinKitty on the bed. I place the new one next to it. She turns and looks hard into my eyes, making sure I'm not trying to trick her, making sure that I mean what I'm saying. And I do. I never want to hurt her again. You are important to me, Pepper. I'm very sorry that I said those things. She nods to me, letting her eyes wander to the two SinKitty books aligned together on the bed. Sure, I want you to behave better, but I want you to be happy too. I don't want to control you, so I know that means that from time to time you'll misbehave. I give Pepper my best evil grin, because you're naughty. Pepper returns my grin with her own, much more evil grin. You like Pepper? Sure, she's a brat, but I like her. The intense, nervous joy returns, and again, she's clearly unsure how to deal with it, and unsettled that she's letting me see it. Wave after wave of this new happiness flows through Pepper, feeling that she'd normally repress or run out of the room to avoid dealing with. She lets it happen. Pepper unconsciously grabs a handful of blanket as she steadies her nerves. When she speaks, she talks quickly, as if the words may never come out if she doesn't say them right now. Pepper ready. Tell what Pepper want. Special reward. My smile.
Oh, boy.
My smile so big it hurts my face. This is excellent. I'm afraid to believe this is the sign that we may have just rebuilt the trust we'd lost. The fragility in her voice, the vulnerability in her expression. It's a moment that we haven't shared before. Special. I should probably tread carefully. This could also be an act. More honest, but still an act. Still, I really think there's an opportunity to connect to Pepper. Really connect. Something that I don't think anyone's ever done with her. Maybe not even Goro. I really think I'm seeing a side of Pepper that she hasn't shown anyone, not even herself. It's raw and unguarded. Honest. The introspective looks and hesitations that are so out of character for her, they all make sense right now. Right now, Pepper is that sensitive girl that I've seen hints of over the past several days. I would really like to hear what Pepper wants for her special reward. Now there's no going back. Pepper hesitates a bit. Sure that I mean it this time and that I won't break my promise again. Pepper swallows and goes for it. Pepper want... The excitement builds. I wait for her to get the words out and ask for her special reward. A thing that's worth 3 chores rewards. Pepper want kisses! What? Sounds like she wants kisses? I should blink. My eyes feel dry, and I should blink. I should also probably say something, but my mouth only clings tight to the ghostly remnants of the smile that such a short time ago filled up my whole face. I should blink my eyes. My silence is making Pepper feel awkward, and that's making her frustrated, which is making her mad. But she's fighting it all down, clinging to the new happiness, holding on to her curiosity that led us to this moment. Kisses. Oh boy. When I fail to respond, she tries to clarify for me. Pepper, not understand kisses. Oh, I understand the question. Kisses. A puzzle that's been bugging Pepper for a while, apparently, and now she sees an opportunity to find the answer to that mystery. So she's decided that I can reveal it for her. I manage to blink, and then on its own, my mouth decides to start making sounds. Oh, well, kissing is, that is, you see, how do you explain kissing? And how do you explain about people kissing to a Neko? It's something people do to show affection, and it's something that's fun to do with someone you like. She listens intently, but I can tell Pepper's not looking for the clinical explanation. She turns away and awkwardly mumbles something. Nah, Che. What? My anxiety only rises when she gets more direct. Pepper want try kisses. She wants to try kissing. Special reward. She wants to kiss me. She wants me to kiss her. I have no idea how I should be feeling in this moment. You like Pepper? Kiss is fun. Pepper like fun. Pepper want try kisses. Her logic is pretty
Damn, she's got
sound.
you there, bro. Yeah.
She's got you there. Hold on. It's true that even though she is a grade A pest at times, part of me does like her. She's clever and fun to be with. But I'm afraid that what part of me likes her in a way I shouldn't, because she's a Neko. She's not like other Nekos. I really thought she was dumb, but now I'm starting to think she's a lot smarter than she lets on. Maybe even smarter than some humans I know. So that counts for something, doesn't it? I mean, she can read. That's probably better than Lind can do. Really, she just wants to try kissing. I mean, I guess it's kind of academic. Another puzzle for her to figure out. It would be like an experiment that a scientist would do. But you know, not just me making out with a cat girl. That's some pretty solid rationalizing. I could use that as a meme image. That's a pretty solid rationalizing. Right about now, Pepper would normally snap her fingers to bring me out of my internal monologue. Instead, my hesitation has made her uncomfortable. She trusted me, asked me to help her with this embarrassing thing that she wants to understand. It did take a lot of courage for her to ask. Sure, we can try kissing. I say to her because I don't know what else to say. She's opened the window and shown who she is, the hidden and real Pepper. I don't want to lose this. If I say no, she'll just regret having trusted me. So, looks like I'm gonna kiss a Neko. Hey! Pepper stares at me. I love how it started going to gray and said "and ending," and then Pepper breaks the fourth wall like that.
Oh no, you don't, narrator.
You're not getting out of this.
I'm getting my hey chicka bum bum, whether
the narrator likes it or not. Pepper stares at me expectantly.
It was at that moment that Pepper had to step away out of frame and then he'll beat the narrator with her hammer.
You mean right now? Yeah, let's go. She blushes slightly as the tip of her tail curls and she clutches the blanket even tighter. Her voice is soft, her words unmistakable. Big wow, gonna try now. Now I just need that, wow sound effect. You know the one?
Wow, wow. Wow. You mean that one?
No, the wow one that they use for stuff like this.
No, not what's his face?
He was a Disney voice actor. I forget his name. Apparently he has a really weird nose, according to Bird.
Huh.
Because he did an entire comic about it. It's like, wow, I'm this guy, and it's like, and every single time he showed up in the frame, his nose would get increasingly screwed up. I'll have to find it for you.
Okay. Pepper whispers encouragingly to reassure herself. Even tinged with nervous anticipation, her grin looks devilish. There's a 50% chance you're getting your nose bitten off, but good luck, Noodles.
Oh, please. No, she wouldn't do that. But I'm just going to say this right now. If you start doing tonsil hockey with the Neko, you're going to get tongue burn.
Yeah, assuming Nekos have the barbed tongues thing. That's why their tongues feel like sandpaper. They're like little tiny hooks to catch water and food stuff when they lick stuff. Pepper nervously watches me stack those SinKitty books off to the side. You're sure? Pepper purr, real sure. Leaning over, I gently pry the wad of blanket from her grip, take her hand in mine, and steady myself, and kiss Pepper. Their first kiss, small and elegant. Pepper's lips, pursed tight, are cooler than I expect. I've kissed a lot. Well, I kissed Mia a lot. And yet kissing Pepper is the fumbling and clumsy first kiss of teenagers. The halting kiss of two young people who are experiencing kissing and being kissed for the first time. Strange, ungainly, yet rich with curious excitement. She follows my lead, her lips relax and quickly warm. Pepper's hands, cool but sweaty, relaxes its death grip on my own. As I'm ready to pull away and end our kiss, Pepper stiffens, pressing her lips firmer to mine. Not ready to end it. Not just yet. Switching gears to give Pepper a taste of intermediate kissing, she follows my lead as I begin to move into an unbroken series of clumsy pecks. A slow-motion version of lips pulling liquid through a straw. But there's no straw, just another pair of lips that are cautiously but intently pulling back. Keep finding my concentration being torn away from what I'm doing with Pepper by the concern that somehow, on some level, this could be one of Goro's pranks. It's an insane thought, but I just can't get past the feeling that somehow he planned it that it'd end up like this, making out with his Neko. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not actually out to get you.
At that point that, Goro jumps out of the closet and yells,
Surprise!
Gotcha!
You're on Neko camera. I want to think I'm giving him way too much.
It turns out that OmOneko is just the diminished.
Oh, jeez. Noodle's life is deliberately made complicated by a series of actors and, girls in really convincing prosthetic cat gear.
Oh, the ultimate twist. The ultimate twist.
Yeah?
Mia is the producer.
Oh, no. Ultimate villain arc right there.
Yes.
I want to think I'm giving him way too much credit, but this is Goro. The reality is, if he really knew how smart she is, he'd absolutely use it for pranks. Pretty much like this. I hope that any moment he'll burst through the door with that Goro grin he saves for when a big prank goes down. It keeps me on edge and distracted. When it doesn't happen, and my focus returns to me and Pepper kissing, she's taken the lead. Our kisses have become bigger, firmer, even deeper, less clumsy and more natural. Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm enjoying this. I should not enjoy...
Oh, there you go, Professor.
No, you send me something?
Oh, sorry. I just sent you the video.
Okay, appreciate it. Should not enjoy doing human stuff like kissing with a Neko. Still, I can't deny that kissing her is, well, fun. Pepper's different. She's unlike any other Neko I know. It's a dumb thing to think. I only know 3, but not enough for a quantitative sampling. What I mean is, in some ways, she's more people than some people I know. If she could handle sitting down long enough to learn chess, I think she'd be a master at it. I tend to do this a lot with Pepper. Not the kissing, the getting distracted when I'm with her. So mind tries to unpuzzle some puzzling thought about her. And in my distraction, I guess I fell into old habits, as I realize we're really kissing passionately now. Floating in a bubble, a growing dizzying haze eclipses everything outside of our slow, deep, intense kiss. Open mouths and the constant motion of almost parting but never quite. Tongues tasting, teasing, flirting. I really didn't mean to go this far. A kiss with Pepper was not supposed to involve tongues, let alone this all-out soul kiss. So yeah, we are playing tonsil honky with the Neko. That is happening now.
The thought occurs to me, and this is entirely ancillary to what's going on now, but I can't help but think it. When they mentioned, Pepper, playing chess, I can't help but think of there's this a green text I saw about, this is going to shock you, Professor. I am subscribed to a lot of Warhammer things. Right. And I saw this one guy on Reddit complaining about, I can't believe this. I was playing Warhammer at my local store with a Khorne berserker army guy, and he kept just shadowboxing and doing push-ups the entire time, and he just was like, blood for the blood god, whenever he was, not, charging my guys. And I'm just imagining that's the way, Pepper would, if she's not, it's not her turn, she'd just be shadowboxing or doing jumping jacks or something in the corner. Yeah, exactly.
I can see that. Let the devs go.
Never getting pumped up for the combat. And then I'm just saying right now, Pepper would play Blood Angels if she was playing Warhammer.
I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we are, locked together by hot lips, connected by demanding, tasting caresses, breath heavy, hot, slow. As my free hand moves to gently touch her cheek, she reaches up and clutches my shirt. Our tongues and lips softly press and pull, tug, torment, and taunt. The heavy gravity of desire. Any aspect of looking at this clinically evaporates.
My.
I take Pepper's head in both my hands. She takes a quick, deep breath as I press our foreheads together, changing the angle of our kiss, making it so our impassioned lips peel apart, and then have to reach slightly before finding connection again. My thumbs move to her cheeks, and my fingers splay through her hair. Her skin is warm now. Pepper's hands grip my shirt tightly. Her body curves towards me. Our breathing is heavily punctuated with soft, quick, halting moans. The pace quickens. Heads rolling and hands pulling, our sounds increase their volume. Foreheads and noses press hard against each other. Dizzied, the rush of frenzied passion off balance from the union and enthusiasm, I pull away to catch my breath. Pepper's eyes are huge, about to burst out of her head. Flushed, sweaty, and ready to hyperventilate, with one swift motion, Pepper pulls her hand away. Yeah. Then she brings it forward and slaps my face. The sound and sting are like a reset switch. My brain swimming in happy chemicals clears. The haze instantly evaporates. Small tears form at the corner of her eyes, and she leaps from the bed as if it were a blazing fire. Pepper runs from me, and the air in the room thins in her wake. My hands a moment ago, wound through her hair, still hang suspended now, only grasping emptiness. I simply remain on my bed, a pepper-shaped handprint hot on my face. Then, still flushed and eyes wide, Pepper rushes back into the room, stopping at the end of the bed. Still lost in the fiery throes of desire, she looks ready to leap onto me and pick up where we left off. So she grabs a SinKitty, turns and scurries out of the room again. Then she dashes back. I ready myself for her to climb onto the bed. But Pepper's hands fall short. She drops the SinKitty book she's holding. She grabbed the wrong book, the broken one. Swapping books, she picks up the new SinKitty book and darts out of the room again. This time, I follow her. Sitting on her window seat and hugging her SinKitty book, Pepper is trying to catch her breath and calm herself down. For several long moments, neither of us speak. Finally breaking the uncomfortable silence, she says, "Pepper, feel funny." Another pause, my turn. "I didn't mean to go that far, especially didn't mean to make you feel bad." "No, not bad." She retorts as if I insulted her. Pepper, tummy feel, She just experienced something that, in practice, is very different from anything she could have imagined. The rush of conflicting emotions going through her conspire to keep her from finishing her thought. It can be a challenge, weird for people to, express themselves at a time like this. Pepper blushes hard. She gets mad like she's going to slap me again, then quickly turns away and wipes her eyes. I try to help her out. Kissing is, it's not something that you can do on your own, so you have to trust who you're with when you do it. Something that you have to experience to really understand. Yeah. So that good feeling can sometimes, feel too good. I don't know if I'm making any sense to Pepper. She shifts back and forth, wrestling with the language of humans and attempting to articulate the new feelings that she's experiencing. Pepper, tummy feel... She settles on... funny. Yeah, mine too. She didn't expect that. It stops her mid-pace. For a while, Pepper just stares at me as she tries to decide what she should say. There's a vulnerability about her that she never would have been able to trust me with before today. So I confess. Look, Pepper, I'm not going to lie. Kissing you felt very nice. You're pretty good at it. I feel like a fool as I trip over an explanation. Pepper gently touches her fingers to her lips. Oh, but I shouldn't be kissing my Neko. Ignoring the social taboo of humans and Nekos doing stuff like that, I don't want it to get weird between us. So I think we probably should stick to bounce, story time, or things like that for chores rewards and special rewards, Pepper straightens her skirt, then replies without looking at me. Oh yeah, kissing, weird human thing. It certainly is. She shakes her head, laughs, and walks past me out of the room and down the hallway. You'd think with how well Claudia keeps up with her chores that I'd always have something ready to wear. Somehow, no. How's it possible that I'm out of clean pants? The bottom drawer of my dresser, the only thing I find to wear are sweatpants. I still own sweatpants? Well, I have no plans to go shopping today, so it shouldn't be an issue. Never mentioned it to the girls, but I have been somewhat worried about our finances. Sawbones wasn't exactly cheap. Also, I spent way too much on replacing Pepper's SinKitty book. I pull my emergency reserve cash from the box I keep in my dresser and put it into my wallet. We'll recover soon enough, plus now Shimi gone, only having to feed 3 of us will speed that up. There is relief, which causes guilt. It's a great fiscal spreadsheet of life. The worth and value of Claudia's happiness justifies the added strain on my moderately generous disbursement. If I stay on the budget I set when Shimi was here, I can save up for something nice to get Claudia. Not sure what that would be. I can figure it out later when I have some more money saved. Whatever I get her won't replace Shimi, not even a little, but she definitely deserves something to lift her spirits. Still, right now I'm looking for ways
You're gonna get, the Neko, an actual cat.
That's interesting. Like, we don't know how Nekos react to cats, or if they do at all.
Oh Lord, I just had a horrifying thought.
Ruh-roh.
Okay, I don't know if you're familiar or aware of this, Professor.
All right.
In OmOneko, basically the entire conceit of it is that horses don't exist,
Right.
but there are people that, are horses, effectively.
Right.
What if this is what's going on here? Cats don't exist.
There
but,
are no
there
cats.
people
There's
who are-
just cat people. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man.
That is an interesting...
Oh, man. Oh, man. What if they were going to get, Claudia her own kitten?
That's interesting. Still, right now, I'm looking for ways to save money. One way, I have a tin filled with random tea bags in the kitchen cabinet. I can save a few bucks by using them and not buying loose tea for a while. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Another, there are frozen meals that I made a while back for days when I'm just not in the mood to cook. Toss one in the oven, and we'll be good. If you do extra work in the past, you can be lazy in the future. Is it overperforming, or some kind of next-level super lazy? Whatever. All I know is that cooking the frozen meals will cut down on having to buy something fresh for a meal or two. Every little bit helps. Still letting you make something to go with it. What's that?
That's not super lazy. That's called being efficient.
That's true. That is efficiency. Still letting you make something to go with it. I make sure I have everything needed to make my signature hummus. I'm with Strongbat on this. It's like... hummus? No. I get
I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yeah, not my jam. I get chickpeas cooking on a very low simmer and start a load of laundry, mostly pants. Sometimes cooking can be awesome that way. Some meals progress all by themselves, allowing you to do something else. In this case, readying, loading, and starting the washing machine. It doesn't take very long. When I finish here, it'll be interesting to see how far along we are with the chickpeas. What I'm not expecting to find is a fluffy tail and a pair of ears twitching in front of the stove. Claudia, what are you doing? Help now. Claudia turns, startled. Her sheepish reply, stating the obvious, doesn't alleviate the concerns raised by a Neko messing around at the stove. She knows better. Mom lecturing about the dangers of Nekos causing fires instantly fills my head, but Claudia doesn't need any kind of lesson right now. The process of cooking
Claudia shakes her head. Learn another route. Oh, no.
Claudia remembers your playthroughs.
Claudia remembers everything.
Claudia also seen other Snek videos. Claudia disappoint.
Sad.
Aww. Aw, peas.
Wait, am I sad? No. Oh.
Oh, now I am. See, wouldn't that be the twist? Is like instead of the usual bit that like modern indie game devs have been doing, instead of the evil character being self-aware and beyond the fourth wall, it's actually like this super nice, good-hearted character who is.
So what you're saying is you just want, Monica or BB, the godlike self-aware character, but they're actually genuinely cared about you.
Yeah, they're like actually trying to help you and like, hey, like, maybe don't be a bad person. And like, they're not trying to be evil or malicious in any capacity. They're actually like genuinely trying to help you, Like, I think
that would be really interesting. That would be really interesting, especially if it's in a Memento style situation where you're only given about like the information, and so you have to muddle through things, and they're just like and they just look at you, and you're just like, why does she look at me like I'm dumb? And then you're like, oh, I am dumb.
I am dumb. The process of cooking has always held a strong fascination for Claudia, above and beyond the natural curiosity that all Nekos have. Maybe she needs something to distract her from her missing friend. Want to help me make something? I mean, actually just make something, not just fetch things. Always, yes. We're not doing anything fancy tonight. I just need an extra pair of hands and some simple stuff. Her smile's bigger than I expect. She can help, just this one time. Stir like this, move the chickpeas around so the ones on the bottom end up on top. Yep, just like that. We're not quite there yet. I raise the heat, now Claudia continues stirring. It's definitely a good distraction. Claudia gives the pot her full attention, meticulously mimicking the way I showed her and totally focusing on it as if nothing exists beyond softening chickpeas. As she stirs, I keep my eye on her as things could go awry fast. At the same time, I pull out an onion, lemon, garlic, and a bunch of other ingredients. Then I grab the blender. Now that the chickpeas are slightly roasted and mushy, we need to puree everything until it's a smooth paste, and you're going to run the blender. Claudia's nervous intrigue at taking a more direct role in our food preparation is a two-edged sword. I'd never let her actually cook. Her brain isn't wired for it, but she can follow my instructions for what to put in the blender and then press a button well enough. I have her add the curry, salt, garlic, chickpeas, and other seasonings in their proper order. Claudia jumps a little every time she presses the blender's button, causing it to whir. Maybe to ease her anxiety, she starts to softly hum that same melancholy tune she made up so long ago. Now the olive oil. Here, you do it. Her eyes get big when I hand her the bottle. Claudia takes it and her expression becomes intense. She tips the bottle, but with an angle more appropriate to pouring water for a plant than to adding a little olive oil into a blender. Not too much. Stop. Too much. Claudia quickly puts the bottle on the counter and steps away. Her humming stops and she fiddles with one of her braids. Bad. Oopsie poopsie?
No.
Pepper appears. Both girls spectate while I gently blend the oil into the mix. Nah, it will be fine. I say to alleviate some of Claudia's anxiety, but damn, that's a lot of olive oil.
What are your thoughts on olive oil versus, like beef tallow there, Professor?
Olive oil is good, but here's the thing, 99% of olive oil is mafia run. And anyone out there who says it isn't, it is. It's just been laundered at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Most of it's fake. The rest of it's mafia. If you're paying less than $20, it's not real olive oil. Spoiler alert. I myself use coconut oil for most things that require it, or butter in many other cases. So,
that's a good strategy. I hear good things about coconut oil.
It's actually solid at room temperature, so sometimes you'll have to adjust. If I'm baking a cake, for instance, you got to really work it into the mix. But it's worth it,
right.
And it's more flavor neutral than people give it credit for, given that it comes from coconuts. But let me tell you, there's times where it really shines. If you're gonna fry up coconut shrimp, use coconut oil. Goes hand in hand.
This goes right up there with our talk about how coconuts are actually mammals.
That's true. They are furry and they give milk. Ergo, coconuts are mammals.
Yep.
Our hummus will end up quite runny. What's that?
The things you learn. The
Tomodachi Bros is an educational program brought to you by subscribers like you.
I'm just saying, the things that you and your bros learn when you start, looking into things, and you're like, wait, now hold on, that's not right. Oh my god, it kind of is.
That kind of makes sense, though.
Yes.
Our hummus will end up quite runny, more of a sauce and less like the creamy paste that it should be. But after adding more spices to offset the oil, our taste test proves it's still very yummy anyway. I scoop it all into a dish and hand it to Claudia to place on the counter to cool before it goes in the fridge. Tonight we'll heat up something frozen and add this on top. It'll probably go great with that chicken and vegetable dish in there. Claudia smiles. It's thin, but it's real. Claudia heads into the bathroom, and I head for the sofa. Pepper follows me. Seeing my phone on the sofa causes my brow to crease. I normally leave it in the foyer, but I must have forgotten about it earlier today. I need to pay better attention or I'm going to misplace it again. Okay, well, I think we can all see where this is going by now, but if anyone's particularly, not with it in the audience, Pepper can read. So she's reading the text that Goro is sending to him. And apparently she can also write, meaning it's entirely possible she's been sending replies on Noodle's behalf. So we shall see where that goes.
I was gonna say it's pretty clear what's going on here.
Yeah, because Claudia would respect his space and wouldn't mess with the phone. He's literally already said so, and Shimi's already left in this route. So it stands to reason there's only one culprit left, and this isn't the sort of game where I get the data ghost, and ergo it's not going to be a supernatural explanation.
It's a case where, Pepper's hiding behind the lamp and she's, turned towards the wall, and it's a case of her whistling is like, no, it can't be Pepper. Pepper can't see you. You can't see Pepper. Flawless logic.
Of course.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not, I'm not rhyming enough.
Of course.
Pepper can't see is mystery.
That's pretty good. As I pick up my phone...
Noodles am dumb is conundrum.
Yeah, it would just figure that she wouldn't know a word like defenestrate, but absolutely would know conundrum. As I pick up my phone, Pepper sees what I'm doing and, laughing, makes a diving leap onto the sofa and attempt to grab it before I can. Half a second earlier and she would have had it. If she'd gotten it, I have no doubt I'd be chasing her trying to get it back, like with my keys that time. Whoa! Ha! Too slow! Lucky, plucky, ducky. Luck is not getting struck by lightning playing bounce in a thunderstorm. This, my dear, is skill. Ha!
You. Look who's now the faker now, faker.
He just called me the faker! How dare he! She laughs in amusement as I tease her with my phone and stick my tongue out. What is it about this cat? There's a playful side of me that Pepper brings out when we're together. Even though she's still a born troublemaker, I'm enjoying her company in a new way. A different way from when palling around with Goro. A lot of people thought Goro was obnoxious and a bit selfish, always finding amusement in things that would get under anyone else's skin. Pepper's that, but different. She embraces every challenge that comes her way, treating it as a personal affront or insult that cannot be ignored. Just like now, still vexed she didn't get my phone, she's not ready to cede the contest. She relaxes, but only on the outside. Inside, she's coiled like a spring. I can almost hear her mind working the ruse, plotting when to make her move. So when she does, I'm ready. Pepper jabs her hand out, reaching to snatch my phone from me. She's fast, but I'm expecting it, so I pull my arm way back to keep her at bay. Ha, getting slow in your old age. That was the wrong thing to say. My teasing turns her face into the mask of war, triggering her competitive nature like waving a red cape before a bull. With a clenched...
Hey, so roses are red, violets are blue. Oh my wa, machine dude. What?
You guys know I don't speak French. Blah. With a clenched SinKitty smile, Pepper springs, lunging from my phone. Her sudden dive toward me, my outstretched arm causes me to retreat. Yeah. Too far. I overbalance backwards. As I topple off the back of the sofa, Pepper, still reaching for the phone, rides me like a raft going over a waterfall. Her head bangs against my face, sending a shock of pain to my nose as we both land on the floor. My phone tumbles across the room. Pepper is straddled atop me again. I wait for the pain to fade from my nose. She didn't get the phone, but I no longer have it either, so she celebrates her Pyrrhic victory with another laugh. I can tell I'm about to get a pinch or a punch, as somehow her tackling me off the sofa will count as a flinch, but instead the game is cut short. Noseblood! Pepper studies me in a deeply serious manner. Touching my throbbing nose, I pull wet red fingers from my face. Noseblood. That's hashtag relatable. When it gets cold here in Snekburg, my nose dries out and I get nosebleeds all the damn time. Happened last night, in fact.
Yep. In fact, it's actually, honestly, after the our lovely incident.
Yeah.
About now, I always kind of have a PTSD moment where I'm like, man, my nose is kind of stuffed up. I blow my nose. I'm like, my god, because I just get a lot of basically a dried scab.
And Utaku just frowns and goes, guess I die.
I'd really rather not, but
I'd
them's the
really
breaks.
rather you didn't either. There's not too many people who are willing to endure the crap that I put you through, so... what I'm saying is you're an excellent co-host.
What he's not telling you is that, he finally got me a seat for my bicycle.
So now, instead of a hamster wheel he runs on, he has to pedal like a power bike in order to power the Snek computer, yes.
It's so much easier now, let me tell you.
Pepper didn't do it. Okay, don't worry. Doesn't hurt. I smile to show her I'm fine. She seems... Oh, very?
Hold on.
She seems it's supposed to be overly.
Yeah, we have a typo. Sorry, game devs. That just threw me off really bad.
It's overly relieved.
She can't be overly relieved. Humans and Nekos can't breed.
I was about to say, she might be doing that thing, but...
Yep. She seems overly relieved that my injury is purely cosmetic and that I'm not hurt. Ow! Now it hurts! Poopsie poopsie. She dismisses my protest and does a closer examination. Unlike Claudia and I, Pepper and Goro growing up together included a lot
trying to pull my nose.
Like, please stop trying to reseat it. It's not broken. Unlike Claudia and I, Pepper and Goro growing up together included a lot of roughhousing, wrestling, and games like Keep Away that involved tackling. Naturally, this resulted in the occasional bump, bruise, and of course, bloody nose. I guess she knows what she's looking for. Not bad. You live. She pinches my nose again to stem the bleeding. Ow. I live? That's too bad. My joke makes Pepper don a sinister grin. Can't help but smile back at her gratitude. That is such a good word for her. I have no idea why I put up with you. Pepper put up with you. Of course, and my nose appreciates it.
Damn.
Not Pepper's fault you not Not Pepper's fault you not know how to land on floor. Maybe next time I'll try and land on top of you. She blushes and looks away as I realize what I said. My comment reminds us that Pepper is straddling my lap. Pepper keeps pressure on my nose, and eventually her eyes find mine again. Why does this keep happening?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
We maybe locate that energy signal from the radar room. A light with the mid-afternoon sun, they sparkle and shimmer in bronze, gold, and coppery brilliance. Her eyes are quite captivating. They have a false tinge of wisdom, some suggestion of depth, a hint of knowledge beyond her ability. And she's cute. If I told her that, she'd blush again. Tempted to say it just to tease her, but then I'd for sure get a pinch or a punch. Possibly a punch and several other punches, and I think I've shed enough blood today. My musings cause me to smile, and my smile causes Pepper's eyes to narrow. She clearly wants to know why I'm smiling, but she doesn't ask. As we stare at each other, there's an undeniable truth that I'm reluctant to admit. I like her. I like her eyes and her mischief and her zeal for things like her game of bounce.
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah. We definitely read the room here, Protag. This is our third rodeo here. I like her obnoxious demands and vying for my attention. I like that for a supposedly simple-minded Neko. She likes books and calculating.
I gotta say, she's probably the nicest. She is probably the nicest tsundere I've seen.
Probably fair to say.
I mean, because she wasn't obnoxious before, and that's kind of my problem with a lot of them, is that they're
super abrasive. And it's like no one would tolerate that. No one with a healthy sound of mind, anyway.
No.
And I like having her on top of me.
Oh my. Damn, bro.
Okay, seriously, get it together. I need to snap out of this. Pepper's a Neko, clever, but...
Handshake, young man.
Pepper's a Neko, clever, but still a Neko. I cannot have these feelings, but I definitely like her. Possibly I even like her. I need to stop it. Fix it.
You can have those feelings, but shrug.
You would be amazed the things that humans can bond with. There's like a legit an epidemic of people dating AI algorithms. So I mean, humans can bond with just about anything. So
yeah.
I raise a finger to my nose to confirm the bleeding stopped. Thank you, Nurse Pepper. Pepper, awesome, Neko. This makes my smile return. What a brat. I must be a masochist to put up with you. Messy kiss. Her reply sets me off into a fit of laughter. No, you dummy. Not messy kiss. A masochist is someone who likes pain. Oh, pain? Pepper do pain. Pointing at my nose, I counter. You already did. Not Pepper. Sashimi did it. Shh. Let's not talk about Shimi. Claudia's still upset. Drop my voice to a whisper. Pepper regards me seriously. I quietly tease. Besides, now that she's gone, who will you blame for all the trouble you cause? Pepper actually considers this, then casually announces, Veronica did it! I actually snorted, which unfortunately starts my nose bleeding again. Oof. Pepper grabs my shirt.
Here lies Noodles. He never scored.
Not in this route. Meanwhile, it's Claudia being like, he already did twice.
Yay.
You're going to stretch it. Hush, big baby. Nurse Pepper, stop nose blood. Maybe. Feel each other's gaze as Pepper gets my nose to stop bleeding again with the help of a handful of my shirt.
Pepper, that was forced even for you.
Yeah. Pepper taking care of me. Very cute. The words slip out, prompting a dirty look from my caregiving cat. I laugh again, careful this time not to snort. She really is very cute. I know she's trouble, and the Neko, and Goro's Neko, but as she tends to me in her ham-fisted, peppery way, I can't lie to myself. I like it, and I like her. In fact, I do like her. The gravity of my predicament seeps to my thick skull. She likes to roughhouse, likes to get naked, is often in my bed, and I like her. A more immediate problem that I'm realizing, besides getting blood on my shirt, is that by pulling my shirt up, Pepper is exposed to my chest. Her eyes twinkle as they linger on my vulnerable skin. I probably should get up now. I go to pull my shirt back down, but Pepper stops me.
Oh no.
She keeps a hand with the shirt on my nose and leans in, placing her other hand on my naked chest. What are you doing? Nurse Pepper, fix it. That's not my nose. Shush. Nurse Pepper, delicate procedure. Delicate procedure?
Oh, no.
Is that what we're calling it? We shouldn't be doing stuff like this. I weakly protest, but take no action to stop her. Her hand feels good on my skin. This not kisses, this may be messy kiss. Even bigger problem, her on my lap, pressed against me, is beginning to make certain very adult things happen. The one time I wear, I curse sweatpants, I curse their comfiness, and I curse sweatpants boners. Thank you, game devs, for making me read that out loud.
You know what, Professor? You know what?
What's that?
I think, you know what? I feel like that needs to be the, could we make that the, the thumbnail?
If I remember, yes. Pepper's heat builds up the place where we're pressed together, which causes more blood to rush there. Maybe that will stop the nosebleed.
I mean, it would, technically speaking, yes.
Did you see? It's becoming harder for me to resist her. And of course, things happening in my pants cause things to get hotter and Pepper. When the text first appeared, only the first 3 words showed up until I clicked again. It's like, I know what you're doing! I know what you're up to, game dev! Neither of us...
What would that be? What would that be?
They say, as they giggle maniacally. Neither of us...
I don't understand what's going on. What's going on, bro?
Neither of us do anything to stop it, so the spiral continues, widening, making it even harder to slow things down. Pepper? Yeah? We should get up now. Nah. Definitely in trouble. I thought we were gonna stick to playing bounce. This kind of bounce. She learned that one from Goro.
Dang.
Pepper pulls the shirt from my nose, wiping away the blood. Her hands move on my chest, and she lightly drags her nails from my neck to my belly. The sensation of her nails on my skin is both titillating and ticklish, electric. I bite the inside of my lip, trying to keep me as still as possible, using every drop of my resolve to keep from squirming. My body betrays me, quivering under the stimulation. She watches me with a wry fascination as my whole being reacts to her teasing. It would feel like another scientific trial, an experiment to understand and satisfy some basic curiosity Pepper has, if she wasn't obviously being swept up in the heat and desire of it all as well. Her breathing becomes heavier. Ticky. Don't you dare! Ticky, please. Well, since you're begging. Through deep, slow, steady breaths, she closes her eyes and presses herself firmly against me, causing an inadvertent moan to escape my lips. I feel the temperature of her entire body rise. It gets even hotter in my lap as she slowly rocks back and forth. Only thin fabric separates us. Silently cursing, I promise myself I'm throwing away these sweatpants. We should stop. Stop, yeah, but not stopping now. Stop later. Pepper leans in close. I'm hungry to feel her lips on mine. In the entryway? Okay, we're doing this now. I mean, it was like in the bedroom with Shimi, in the backyard with Claudia, and now literally in the entryway. She pauses, teasing, hovering with our mouths almost touching.
You know, and the funny thing is, I can only imagine Veronica just being out there watching, just kind of, shields her face, looks, shields her face again, walks away, comes back, you're still there.
Yeah, the thing is, she's like the artistic, in touch with her feelings type, so she's into it.
Well, I'm glad that he's happy.
In every moment, millions of nerve endings all over the body are triggered by incoming touches, sounds, sights, and smells. Most are simply discarded for their banality. Things that are not useful to one's interest, attention, or survival are ignored. Clothes in the skin, irrelevant information. Sometimes periphery signals are singled out for further consideration. Of those right now, at least one is causing a distraction from the full attention I'm paying to the pleasure that Pepper and I are creating. Passing thought becomes obsession, an uncanny feeling, an itch demanding to be scratched. Something primal and strange refuses to be ignored. Something there, but not quite, causes just enough triggers in the back of my mind to switch on, coalesce, and garner awareness. Something strong enough to cut through the heady excitement of Pepper touching me, being on top of me. The distant tension builds, becoming a wary feeling of being watched. Pepper senses it too. We both look up to see the bloody figure above us. It's Shimi hovering just above us. She is the stuff of nightmares. Oh, wait, no. I was wrong. Claudia's not the one who's, self-aware. It's Shimi, obviously. Pepper and I are frozen.
Dad.
Pepper and I are frozen in place, not even breathing. The feral looms, watching us. She holds a knife, my big carving knife with the blue resin handle. The splattered blood on her looks fresh. Shimi's expression, inhuman, has just a slight hint of curiosity. From somewhere in my room, my phone vibrates. None of us move. Shimi suddenly steps away, apparently losing interest in what Pepper and I were doing as she goes into the kitchen. Still freaked out with the knife-wielding feral covered in blood, I scramble to my feet. Standing together, Pepper and I watch as Shimi place the knife on the counter. Both hands she lifts up and reveals a blood-soaked canvas shopping bag. In a completely relaxed manner, Shimi upends the fabric bag, reluctantly at first and almost all at once. The canvas sack releases its contents with a sloppy plop, plop, squish, plop. 4 dead rats and their gore slide from the sack. Each very dead rat's body is nearly the length of my arm. Pepper's sudden panting reminds me to breathe again. She rushes into the kitchen, dragging me along with her. Everything feels very far away. Everything except the rats. Rats, 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 dirty rats, dirty rats, sashimi got 'em, happy cats. Pepper clearly has her own opinion on the rats. Pungent, earthy, and raw, the smell from the foul pile of dead rodents is strong enough to gag a maggot. It mixes with the metallic taste of blood from my earlier nosebleed. My stomach, wanting nothing to do with this, feels like it's trying to escape out the back of my sweatpants. Feeling the need to vomit while sporting an erection is a strange and confusing experience, one that I don't recommend. So I struggle to contain both my gag reflex and the sweatpants boner. Claudia rushes into the kitchen. At first, she's confused at the scene, Pepper happily hopping in place by a putrid pile of rats, and Shimi and I, on blood on our shirts, standing on either side of her. Claudia and Shimi's eyes open wide at seeing each other. They step together, ears twitching, Claudia's big billowy tail and Shimi's stub both raised in happy greetings. Claudia, smiling from ear to ear, quickly looks around at the scene again. She grins broadly at me, sharing her joy. Stray cats will stray, but her wild cat is back. Then, ignoring everything else, Claudia takes Shimi's hand. With little encouragement, Claudia leads Shimi down the hallway. The sound of a running bat tells me they'll be gone for a while. What a day. Understatement of the year. I'm really not sure where to start with the gruesome pile of dead rats. What a mess. Momentarily ignoring the rats, which are currently leaking sludge onto my floor and stinking up my kitchen, I wash the dried blood off my face and try to get my head clear. Barely manage to sidestep freight train Pepper. Clearly overstimulated, Pepper zooms around the kitchen like a too tightly wound cuckoo clock. The excitement of the rat, something she hasn't seen since she was a kitten, is a lot for her to handle. She runs in circles, pausing at each half-circuit to taunt the pile of rats or bark commands to me at the sink. Hurry, 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 hurry! And Shookum bookum cookum cookum. Sponge the nose blood from my t-shirt and shake my head as she randomly starts pulling out spices from the cabinets. Hookum nookum cookum cookum. Pepper, still a non-stop chatterbox, rushes over to the oven. She presses the cook button, then the roast and preheat. A click whoosh emanates from the oven as the appliance complies, releasing and igniting the gas, which immediately heats the air inside the cooker. Pepper! Pepper freezes in place, mid-sentence, her hand hovering just over the buttons. She turns towards me, mouth hanging open and eyes blinking rapidly. What the hell? We're not cooking those inside the house. The grill. We'll cook them outside. In fact, you pick up the rats and put them in the sink. I'll be right back. Anticipating some reluctance from her for being asked to help, I turn off the oven and quickly leave before she can argue. Heading to the bathroom, I remove my still blood-stained and now wet t-shirt. I think I just agreed to cook those rats for Pepper. Damn it, I did, didn't I? Bathroom door is open. Claudia and she barely notice me as I toss my dirty shirt in the hamper. Grab another shirt, one I don't mind getting messy. Definitely throwing these sweatpants in the incinerator tonight. Shimi came back. Even though she nearly scared the crap out of me, I'm genuinely glad about it. The two of them, all sudsy and happy, are a nice contrast and distraction from the work I'm going to have to do on these revolting rats before they'll be ready for the grill. Things I do for you, Pepper. Having to cook rats is the last... Wait a minute. Did Pepper just turn on the oven? Before I'm even back in the kitchen, the musty tang of putrid rodent assaults my senses. Impulsively, I wave my hands in front of me as if the smell is a physical entity that I could somehow fend off. I need to air out the kitchen before the whole house reeks like this forever. God, it's like being punched in the face by a sewer. Gotta open the back door and light some scented candles. Carefully stepping over the puddle where Shimi dumped the rats, I see Pepper did like I asked and put the 4 carcasses into the sink. Now she stands unmoving, staring down at them. Seeing I'm back, she becomes animated again, clapping her hands together as a beat for her rhyme. Cook a rat, Pepper, eat 'em, gonna get fat. Relax, don't get your panties in a twist. Fresh air fills my sinuses, diluting the terrible musk of dead rodent. Sparks an idea. Pepper, grab the heavy-duty kitchen shears out of the drawer. That drawer there. Good. While I'm lighting the grill, I want you to cut off the heads and tails, then put those bits into the incinerator. Back to bouncing off the walls, Pepper is oddly compliant with my request. She really wants to eat rat. Ew, I kissed that mouth. Nope, not going to think about that. I'm going to think about how can I prepare and grill rats without actually touching them. Looks like there's no avoiding eating rat regardless of what route you're on. But we've been at it for a while. So we're going to actually stop here for now. Grilled and served by gaslight. That is true. So thank you, Ditaku, for joining me as always.
Perhaps the rats were the friends we made along the way.
And we're going to see you guys next time.